Welcome to the WardiTV 2025 Championship. It's Championship Weekend.
Oh, massive fungal growth comes down and this Bioforce gets caught. That's not the trade Clem can really afford at the moment.
Blaze, just going to be seeing the fungal growth come through as well. Oh my god, those parasitic bombs have just killed absolutely everything. Oh my god.
Here we go, Reynolds gonna dive in. He does drop a mega fungal and everything. He's gonna refungal as well, as this commitment will happen. It's gonna be on the way already. We're gonna get this Colossus quickly. We dive on it. The Stalk is pulling through for the siege tank, but leaves the Colossus unprotected. Units from the other side, SCVs. Clem is now picking up individual Marines to dodge Stalker shots because that's the level that we're playing at.
On the high grounds, the tank will go down. These Banelings are going to get massacred though as Clem just says no.
And you're ready to blow up on the adept. Oh, the worst adept shade of all time.
Classic is your WardiTV 2025 champion. .40 dominance.
Hello everybody and welcome to WardiTV Mondays 87, as we are going to be having the usual Monday Cup action. Signups are looking good today. Maxpax Classic ShoWTimE. Classic vs ShoWTimE being a first round matchup. Solar, Rex, Geralt, Strange, Percival, Alex, Rogue vs Cure going to be one of our first round matchups that we're actually going to cover. And we also have Bjorn, Clem, and Nikoract as notable names in this day-to-day, signed up and ready to play. So we'll start the day with Q versus Rogues and TVZ. That just makes a whole lot of sense. I don't think there's any question marks about that. So, yeah, we're going to start there. Let's get through some shoutouts. You guys have been busy at the start of the stream. First of all, Goldo Maz coming in with the 2-month resub on the Prime. Thank you very much. Then Wardy Dad on the 110-month resub on the Prime. If my dad can hit the Prime button, guys, for 110 times, you can as well. Prime us up. Help out the StarCrafts. All the Primes, as Rara75 hits us up for the 53 months. Growlung for the 27. Thank you. And Vixer11 for the 14 months on the Prime as well. Priming us up to start the day off. Hope you're all feeling well, wonderful, and all the rest of it. This is WardiTV Mondays 87. And an important one is the final Monday Cup of the spring season of WardiTV, which means that these spring standings get finalized after today. There's already been a lot of finalization just due to the fact that certain players have enough points that can't be overlapped or anything now. But this is what things currently look like. Classic, Maxpax, Hero, and Clem, Solar, Bjorn, Zaun, and Shin will all be seeded into the seeding matches of the Spring Championship because of their points as well as their performance in the Spring Cup. The next two players along, obviously this could still change today. Percival cannot be overwhelmed, so Percival will 100% be seeded into Group Stage 2. He will be joined by the next most highest scoring player, which will either be Shameless or Q. If Q goes along today and wins the whole thing, then that would be the deciding one there. And then beyond that, the next few players, basically next 12 players, get invited in to the next part of the event as well, to the Group Stage 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players already decided, which would be Cure or Shameless, Lambo, Nikoract, Rogue, Ryung, Geralt, ShoWTimE, Skillus. And then 4 of the remaining players, Mana, Art, Jumi, Christiana, Nice, Strange, Trigger, and Yakov, are all up for contention. But what is actually kind of funny is I think the only player in this bracket today who has a chance to actually do anything there is Strange, because Trigger's not signed up, Mana is not in this, Art is not here, Jumi is not here, Nice is not here. So all these guys on 3 points are currently tied up, which means that Mana is probably safe already. No Hossam, in fact, everyone down here just isn't in the tournament today. So this was going to be my big talking point about how points are on the line and stuff, but in fact, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case at all. Maybe Strange can just guarantee himself if he gets himself into the top 8. Strange would have to go through Geralt, but if he gets there, he could guarantee himself a spot, and then we'd have 2 or 3 slots maybe. I think 1, 2. I think maybe 2 slots up for grabs to be decided after the fact as well. There may be some tiebreaker stuff we do to figure that out. We'll figure that out a bit later on, though. As for now, that's how things are going to be going. Looking at everything else, we're going to be heading into Old Republic for our first map of the day with Cure and Rogue. Ready to go. Just a few moments. Alright, I'm bugged out, so give me a second, I'll just relog. I'll try and get this fixed up a little. And we can get in game. It's eerily quiet because I muted the StarCraft sounds for the intro video, only for now the StarCraft to need resetting, so that makes it a little bit awkward. A little tad awkward. Alright, let's try jumping here again. What do I expect the WardiTV 2026 finals prize pool to be at? Will I crowdfund for it? No, we're not doing a specific crowdfunding campaign this year because last year's crowdfunding campaign completely flopped. It completely failed. So we're not doing a specific crowdfunding campaign for the 2026 finals. We might do like a donation push towards the end of the year, but I don't want to do like a crowdfunding campaign thing because, like I say, last year for the 2025 series was just... It just didn't work. People did not get behind it at all. People didn't want to support it for whatever reason. I think just because a lot of other tournaments were asking for money as well. But it's put me off wanting to crowdfund. So, obviously we are crowdfunding essentially through the year through the Patreon page. The Patreon is basically directly supporting everything to do with the 2026 series. So, I would say most importantly, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/WardiTV, of course. Because, yeah, I think pretty much everything that's going into the Patreon is coming back out into the 2026 series. So if you want to help us support that end of year prize pool, you can check that out basically as my suggestion. Or if you want to just get in touch and make a one-time donation specifically towards the end of year prize pool. Right now, I don't know. Like, I would love to get it to 10k. I don't know if that's financially possible, but I'm gonna do my absolute best and just see what we can do. So yeah, we're gonna try for 10k and just see what we can do. But I really wanted it to be higher, but it's it's a rough year and it's a rough time for StarCraft, so it's not easy to just come about and be doing all the things and raising all the money and just throwing all the money at stuff. So yeah, we'll just see what we can do, and hopefully, like I say, hopefully 10k is achievable. What was the 2025 prize pool? I think the 2025 one was a bit smaller, but we did crowdfund like $2,000 towards it. Yeah, we started at $5,000 and we had a donation goal open throughout the event, and then we got $2,500 more to it. So I'm hoping we can maybe justify starting off at 10k, but yeah, it really depends on what else is happening. It really depends on what support we can get and stuff like that, you know? So, yeah, TLDR, it's a work in progress, but there will not be a specific crowdfunding push. Yeah, there'll not be a specific crowdfunding push, at least not like super far out in advance or anything, so... Yeah. Trying for a different method, like I say, trying to just, like I say, all year long push the Patreon instead of pushing people to other things. Couple Lings gonna come up this ramp, gonna go make a go at this depot. A few of those Zerglings gonna stay active right there, and the reactor gonna take some nibbles as well. There's a few Lings come back down to this low ground, and they're gonna go straight after this bunker which was built here, so... Bunker not really going to achieve much in the end, as this hatchery has been used a lot lately to really throw turns off the early game. This is just a bunker that's completely wasted, as now we have the factory finishing up. We are going to continue to react to Marines. Marines obviously good damage output against anything that's, you know, really sturdy at the front here. Obviously Hellions struggle against the Queen and so on. Marines can push back an Overlord. If there was Spine Crawlers, eventually Marines pushing out would be nice as well. And let's just have a few units gathering in together and taking a couple of moments right now. All looking good. Alright, Marines just sit around here then. Again, cycling a couple of Marines on the way through. Queen, Overlord coming about as well. A couple more drones coming into place. Getting all of that underway. ShoWTimE, all events do crowdfunding. Yeah, it's, like I said, that's why I think just pushing the Patreon is the best thing we can do, because then it just means all year long if people, you know, enjoy the tournaments and enjoy what they're seeing, if you enjoy the Monday Cups, if you enjoy the Spring Cups and the Championship and so on, then you can just get behind it and we can just make what we can of that. Because the problem with crowdfunding, like a big event, is if it flopped, it just feels bad. You're like, hey, I want to make this a big thing, because this is what I did last year. I was like, hey, let's make the 2025 series a big thing. Crowdfunding was just, it was nothing. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't nothing, but I was like hoping that we might push like 10k on the crowdfunding. We pushed like 2 or 3k, if I remember correctly. And it was just, and the majority of that, I want to say like 30 to 40% of it was basically people like Loco and Winter who were doing like the big 500. There was a couple of other people who did big ones as well, but like a lot of it is people who I'm now just working with anyway to like more directly sponsor the tournaments. Like Local and Winter basically support the Mondays every single month. They are putting money in toward the bigger WardiTV events anyway. So it's just kind of an awkward, it's just like an awkward thing where it's like the crowdfunding thing has the potential to, like, you try and make a big thing, then it just feels bad, it doesn't look good. Whereas if we just say you can support the Patreon, like, the Patreon can't go wrong, you know? So, yeah. Anyways, we're off and away in this, and obviously we do have ourselves the shutdown from Cure on the hatchery. Now, he does have to come around and clean up a whole bunch of creep spread. Made a little bit easier by the fact he has the Raven, does not have to spend any scans to do this, which is actually really nice. The scans obviously would have been quite expensive considering you've been delayed from kind of moving your low ground to the natural to the low ground. We are going to see these Merlings going to run in for a surround. I do not like this for Rogue. I think this is way too powerful for Cure. And this is giving me some vibes from last time we watched Rogue play, where he tried a lot of these proxy hatch openings in TVZ, and he just didn't really do what he needed to with it. Like, he just kept hitting what felt like a bit of a brick wall. And that's going to be a similar scenario right there. Let's just have the cycle unlocking on. The Queen going to take some damage, and we are going to be seeing a couple Banes. Ling's running forward. The Hellbat's going to spread. A couple of Banes are going to connect in. Order turrets coming down. We will see our Queens coming through. I'm just going to be seeing this army continue to push forward as, I mean, Rogue just lost a lot on the other side. Those Lings going in and fighting that army, trying to wrap around and just not succeeding is pretty much a recipe for this game to go against him. And now he is going to be dead in the water. This opening game of the day, it's not best of one, sorry, it is best of three. Just haven't set the scoreboard properly because I'm yapping. But yeah, this is going to go the way of Cure. Cure going to get the first game of the day. Cure, someone who obviously with a big result today could perhaps influence the standings and could potentially push himself into a group stage 2 of the Spring Championship rather than a group stage 1 start. So yeah, big day for him potentially. We'll, like I say, keep you guys updated on that. We'll have a look at it all at the end of the day as well, although we do have some sponsored content, so we'll probably do it after the sponsored stuff. And see kind of exactly what the Spring Championship invites are looking like. So, yeah. Alright, we're going to jump into Winter Madness in just a moment. Find the middle of the map was a choice. It was, wasn't it? It was not exactly super pretty. The Hellbat time was strange. Well, I think he just realized that Rogue is in a position where he did not do anything near good enough with the hatchery, and because he didn't do anything near good enough with the hatchery, that he could just basically add an armory and just, bam, go across the map. And you know, like this is just Cure saying, oh, I actually think you're already in trouble, but let's just make sure that you die instead of there being a chance or something, you know? So, yeah. The sponsored ads have a big influence on your revenue. What, like the, like when we play the games and stuff? Yeah, they definitely do. Something like, so, depends which ones, that they vary a lot. For example, we do, like, there's a couple different tiers. So, I would say one of the tiers is, there's two very defined tiers. The one tier is the Twitch sponsorships, which are the ones that integrate into Twitch. They are super easy for me to do because they just pop up on my Twitch dashboard. I accept them. They're typically payout based on viewership and stuff. And typically these put out, like, you know, these put out at the lower end. Like, if someone sent me an email for this as a sponsorship offer, I wouldn't bother with the go around. But because it's integrated into Twitch, it's super easy. So these put out, like, basically, like, the same amount of value as, like, let's say 4 to 5 days of ad revenue, which is pretty powerful because ad revenue is a lot of stuff on our channel. But then when we do the ones like, for example, we did the Diablo Immortal with StarCraft one last week. That one is through like an agency. So because there's a little bit more setup and everything and all of this and that, that one pays out a bunch more, like 2 to 3 times as much as what we get from like a Twitch-based sponsorship. So yeah, it's pretty significant. Especially like, you know, especially they add up. Like if you do one a month, it's like, it's nice. But if you end up doing like 3 or 4 a month, it's a pretty good chunk of everything that we make. And obviously each one changes a bit. It goes up and down. Sometimes when we have those ones where you guys can like reach level 5, if enough people do that, it can make a pretty significant difference as well. So yeah, the sponsored content is a big part of what funds the tournaments as well. Well, it's a big part of what allows the ecosystem of the channel to continue. At the end of the day, I'm not... at the end of the day, I have to make some money as well. So I'm not saying that every single piece of sponsored content necessarily, you know, adds to the prize pool. But what sponsored content definitely does allow us to do is if I can make my money off of the sponsored content, it means that a lot of the other stream revenue, such as the 100% of the Patreon going into the tournament prize pools, etc., that sort of stuff can happen. The subscriber, you know, at the end of the day, these are all revenue streams that balance out. So sponsorships allow us to put more money in, whether it's directly the sponsorship money or not. Like in the past, we've done some events, like the resold out events, where it's like, I will put everything we got from the sponsor into it, into like the tournament prize pool or something. Nowadays, sponsors just kind of buff up the general revenue of the channel and allow us to, again, consistently put out like bigger events, because otherwise the math doesn't really add up. You know, we make $2,000 a month on Patreon, but when we also put out like $400 a week on Monday Cups, that's almost the Patreon fund in 4 weeks. So yeah, the rest of the money has to come from somewhere. Well, hatchery coming down. Rogue obviously still believes in this, but he's done this so much recently, and it's now been a few games in a row where I've just not seen it really succeed. Now he's going to get Spine Crawl out. He's going to pressure forward. There's going to be a few Marines that step forward to put some damage on that Spine, which has to step a bit further away for a moment or two. Again, Queen just hammering in for a couple of moments. The depot taking some damage as well. SCVs pulling forward, repairing that depot up for a few moments. Again, the Marines, the Cyclone, the Medevac still building into place. Link speed coming through. Drones and the Overlord continue to produce as well, as that Spine Crawler keeps on chipping away at that depot. Cyclone locking, the Spine Crawler stepping away. And we'll just see Rogue going to Roach Roaring back at home. Link speed. I like this a lot more. It feels like this time he's going to buy himself a bit more time. It feels like he'll really have Q a bit more kind of push back on this for a bit, as this Queen is going to get caught by the Cyclone and a few Marines, so that goes down. The Spine Crawler just makes it a little bit more awkward to attack into this. It's not like the end of the world. We absolutely can trade into this. Good micro from Q and make sure that we don't even lose a Marine to it. But obviously it's still nice to come around, as you just see this hatchery. It will go down. Like I say, you've obviously still delayed the Terra Natural by a pretty significant amount. It's just, once again, look at that army supply. 27 to the 15. The Raven's coming through, so we can get rid of this creep tumors in the next few moments. So that will be our next step of this. And then we'll kind of just go from there and see what we can do as the Hellions, the Cyclone, and the Marines come down the ramp. A couple more creep tumors will go down. We're going to have the lava, sorry. Quick to add too. With the Raven, like I say, this creep spread will be denied. And Cure, are we going to look for another push across the map here? Like I say, we have seen the Rotron coming about. The Lings are going to run in for this surround again. Forces an order turret, takes some losses, then actually backs away this time. This was less Lings, but now we also have a drop of Marines across the map. So Rogue, he built a Rotron. He's yet to have Roaches. Now 2 Roaches on the way. The lair building's not done yet. Is he lava starved? He's lava starved. He can't spend his money on units because he doesn't have the lava to do so. So now we're going to see the Medevacs dropping up into the main base. Just the one Medevac of 8 Marines is such a problem at the moment. This Rogue genuinely feels like he's in some serious trouble once again. This third hatchery is already low, and you know there's an army coming this way, and this Medevac will relocate to the low ground, and this hatchery I actually think has a very good chance of going down here. Let's see how this fight breaks out. We do have the Raven. We'll have one order turret to help out. If the Hellions pull back and deal with the Lings effectively, there's enough Marines to fight this low number of Roaches, especially when you combine the Banshee into the mix. And again, this opening of Rogue is, to me, just not doing enough to really justify. There's no Spore Crawler, so the Banshee is invisible for days, and that is pretty much just going to do everything we need to, as the Banshee will be able to pick off so many of these important units, and that means at the very least this hatchery goes down, and if this hatchery is going down, hard to really be super excited about this game at that point for the Zerg play. We do drop a transfusion onto it, an extra Hellion just showed up, another Queen will fall. We might actually save the hatchery. Okay, hatchery gets saved by Rogue, but at a pretty massive cost. You've got 1 Queen left in this game, so you're 100% going to have lava and just macro issues into the near future. And right now, these Hellions are going after a bunch more drones as well. We're down to 33 drones against the 41 SCVs. So while this maybe didn't quite end like it did last time, it's still looking pretty dismal. It is looking very dismal, in fact. Yeah, Rogue is not looking good here in game number 2. Q feeling good, though, himself. As long as we'll just keep poking. Just going to see a couple of these creep teamers going down. Again, just going to see the Roach speed is on its way up as well. Continue to bring that across. A couple of barracks, command center coming into place. And yeah, tank, Marines, the +1 upgrade, all of that coming through. And getting set up into play. Just going to see the Banshees. At least we'll be able to keep some more pressure up as well. There's one low HP Queen, and now two Banshees beat one Queen for Kia to go 2-0 on this day. Alright guys, you're going to get ads straight away here because we're just about to have them play during this. So let me throw this down. Do we see ShoWTimE and Solo today? ShoWTimE is currently playing against Classic. Solo's about to play against Rex, so we have a chance to see them. But as always, it just depends what games we hop into and what games we end up casting. Just give me 1 second, guys. On the YouTube, I need a refresh because apparently I don't have monetization enabled. What are we doing? How do I even do this? Oh, I see. I see. I think for some reason I clicked something on my YouTube earlier that said add mid-roll ads. I was like, I already do mid-roll ads, so I was like, whatever. But I think it's actually turned off my manual ability to run the YouTube ads. It says I'll still be able to know. It says, oh, that's exactly what we've had it as before. Hey, what's up, Anchor? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the YouTube. 14 to 2 till 10 shift at work and WardiTV Mondays on. Nice. Hell yeah, we got you every Monday. Alright, why is my YouTube being weird? Why are we doing this, YouTube? Come on. What do you mean enable monetization? I've now turned the monetization on the live stream. Why was that off though? What are we doing? We good? We fixed? Back on track? We fixed it. For some reason the monetization was off for this specific video, I see. Very interesting. Alright, cool. Hey, it's Andy. Hey, Waddy, thanks a lot for what you're doing for SCT. You're the best. No worries, mate. Thank you so much for watching it and supporting it. As always, what we do is purely a cause of you guys watching and supporting. So, thank you so much there. I don't really know what to jump into, guys. There's a few cool matches on the way soon, but nothing really like just yet. Let me see if anything's happening on the NA server right now. Oh. I think Classic and ShoWTimE are out of game. Maybe we can either jump into a last game. If they go to game 3, we could jump in. Oh, looks as though we might get a game 3 of Classic ShoWTimE, guys. Yeah, we could do this. Seems reasonable. Yeah, okay, it's 1-1 between Classic and ShoWTimE, so let's see who gets through. Maxpax is about to start up, but we'll touch on the Classic ShoWTimE game because why not? So it's 1-1 here in this PvP. Not sure what happened in the first 2 games. No one's been covering this one, but we'll jump in, have a peek, and see what we can get into. Just while we have a moment getting into this game, guys, I'm going to start being more aggressive again with telling you guys to like and subscribe to YouTube. I really want to push us to 50,000 YouTube subs. Like, we are getting to be within, we're just shy of being 1,000 away. So I really want to push us up to 50k YouTube subs. Like, hitting a new 10,000 sub milestone is something that we've been grinding towards for a very, very long time. So if you want to check that out, you can do so. Like I say, just hit us up on the YouTube. If you're already over there, hit the like and subscribe. Scroll down. It's just beneath the video. It takes a couple of moments. It helps us out massively. There's still like 50% of people on the channel not subscribed, so we have so much reach that could help us to push those numbers up. I mean, super long term, I'd love to hit 100k. I know that's maybe a dream at this point, but like, you know, in theory, enough people watch the channel that we could maybe make it happen. So do your part, help us out. Let's definitely push towards the 50k. I'd love to start getting that wrapped up in the earlier part of this year. Alrighty. Proby is chrono boosting through as we take a couple of moments and we get set up in this PvP. Obviously, as well, if you're on Twitch and you just want to help support the YouTube a little bit, the YouTube link is there if you type !YT. It will even prompt you to sub the moment you click on it. So super easy if you want to head over and support the YouTube channel and what we're doing over there as well. Like I say, it's all inclusive. Supporting us anywhere, all the numbers going up helps us to do more StarCraft. More StarCraft means you guys get to enjoy and watch more. And that means that you guys get to support more and other people get to find us and support more and enjoy the beautiful game that is SC2. So do check all of that out. Probe gonna chase the probe around. Just gonna see the Stalker and the Wall Gate coming up. A couple of Adepts coming through. Well, I'm going to go down over on the left as we just have the sentry. A couple of Adepts on the Wolf Gate coming up. And that ready to rumble. And what we're going to do, Probe going to nibble at the probe and actually gets a kill. So Classic getting the first blood here. And yeah, next coming up, Gateway on the way through. Just going to see that Stargate still very much so building here from ShoWTimE. So he's going to get a bit aggressive over on this left-hand side. Stargate coming online just initially, as you see the two Adepts shaping their way out down to the bottom left side as well. ShoWTimE would love to distract and to be an annoyance here early, and to try and capitalize on that as the Adepts make their way right through to the natural in these next few moments. So bringing ourselves over here, this hallucination of Classic going over the other direction, so it's going to be bringing that straight across. Have ourselves the hallucination hanging about. A couple of Adepts going to step back over as well. Just seeing those Adepts shading back toward the high ground for a few moments. And again, trying to figure out what we want to do. And again, Stalking the Wolf Gate coming about. Nexus in the battery coming in as well. Those two Adepts will gather together here. There's enough units at home for Classic right now, who obviously has expanded. ShoWTimE is expanding on the back of this. Would love to be able to do something fairly soon here, basically. Let's see what we can maybe find in the next little bit, because the sooner we get something done, the better this is going to be being on a late expansion. So we'll see what happens. Twilight Council building from both, so the tech is going to be pretty even. It's just Classic seems to be getting away with a good economic starting. Obviously, like I say, ShoWTimE has the Oracle, and he will continue to have the Oracle. It's just if it can't get in to do much, then whoop-de-doo, you have an Oracle that's not achieving anything. Like I say, we'll see if that's truly going to be the case or not. Maybe we can make something with this Oracle. Of course, it does provide vision, and so, if nothing else, the Adepts will not find enough to justify jumping in for either, so they're going to cancel their shade at the moment. We just have one Stasis out the front going to protect a couple of Adepts and the Stalker for now as well. Again, just shading up there. Just going to have ourselves the Stalkers gathering around, so we hold out for a moment or two. Couple Stalkers going to go back to the center of the map. Hallucination still on the move as well. And yeah, just going to have Blink coming up. Gateway and the probes coming online also. Continue to bring this into play. And the Hallucination still going out to the right side now and through the main base. So bringing that across, bringing that over, getting that on the go. Well, Blink's coming about, Robo Facility coming up, Nexus coming through as well, so we got a few bits and pieces all set into place right now. Again, the Blink's still building, the Probe skill coming online, the Robo Facility coming up also. And again, just seeing a few more units and gathering back around again. Hey, what's up, Bendy Tosh? Thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime. Much appreciated. Thank you for getting behind today's WardiTV Mondays edition 87. Oh, we are getting close to the 80... To the end of the 80s, guys, into the 90s, and the countdown to big 100. WardiTV Monday 100 coming up. Crazy business. Sorry, some Adepts did get in for the 3 probes, and ShoWTimE actually had a bunch of workers here in the end, which is kind of wild because you know, Classic had the earlier expand. Classic is taking a third a bit sooner as well. He's just not built as many workers. I mean, he obviously just lost 3, but ShoWTimE's obviously just setting up to saturate a third already. Classic just lost a couple. ShoWTimE will lose his pylon on the left side. Poking down with these Stalkers here will not find a probe, which would have been the ideal find, because if the probe's there, it becomes very easy just to kind of get a probe and get out, and that's guaranteed damage done. You're never going to kill the Nexus with this amount of Stalkers unless somehow Classic went AFK during this game, which is, you know, at the top level of StarCraft 2, not really the expectation. You're not expecting people to suddenly disappear into the distance or anything. As, again, charge coming up, Stalker and the Observer coming through, and the production continuing. And yeah, ShoWTimE will finish up his own third and still has like a 6-worker lead right now. His attack upgrade going to be sooner as well. I like a lot of what's going on for ShoWTimE. It just feels like he's in a lead of this game. Obviously, he has the Oracle also, so he has that ability to keep active on the map and keep a little bit more vision of where his opponent is. And he has the map control, which makes him feel overall probably a little bit safer too. It's his own stasis ward there, so it's fine to walk into. And actually set up a defensive stasis for him to escape out the side here. I like this. He backs away from the Stalker fight just to get a pylon. Guaranteed damage, slows down the charge upgrade, and he took a lot of attention to the left side. I was expecting these Stalkers to have already shown up there, maybe a moment later than expected. They're actually maybe too late, as ShoWTimE probably could have gone forward with those already. Now, he might be able to make a similar move again. These 4 Stalkers going to be seen. ShoWTimE going to have to pull away from here, but yeah, he's going to be back over on the left side to try and get a couple of kills. The problem is fighting Stalkers versus Stalkers doesn't matter if you have your outnumbering, because obviously the opponent's blink can just get you away. And ShoWTimE, yeah, really a shame that these Stalkers on the right side didn't strike just a little bit sooner. They really could have done a lot. Now ShoWTimE actually has a real lack of army supply at the moment, and this could be a little bit scary. In fact, he lost a good few Stalkers in the last few moments. I was going to say he's going to have to recall some of these Stalkers back. Batteries on the way, gates coming online. He is about to have charge. Will it be enough? He's got all these other Stalkers rallying from the recall. He's down 27 army supply. Man, everything looked good for ShoWTimE, apart from the fact that Classic is right now just about ready to send a big old push. Now, ShoWTime's still warping in a few more Stalkers. Like I say, those extra gates finishing will be huge. Give him a few more warp-ins. The batteries and the cannon being online is nice as well, and he's going to have a stasis ward to help him out. However, he's being forced to defend in a very awkward place. He's defending in this choke point, whereas now Classic gets this entire area to spread his units out and to really actually take a very good fight for himself. ShoWTimE isn't even going to entertain the engagement. GG's. Classic 2, ShoWTimE 1 is going to round this one. So unfortunately, ShoWTimE will fall and gets knocked out of here. Classic into the round of 8 today, where he'll be accompanied by either Maxpax or Blind in the near future. Yeah, not sure what went wrong there for ShoWTimE. Just all of a sudden, his army value stopped growing and Classic's just skyrocketed. And I just think it was just a few losses, and obviously just trying to make something happen again. If those few right side Stalkers had made a move forward, it could have been very cool. But not quite the case. Alright, Clem has moved through to play Nikoract. Meanwhile, apparently Percival and Camo are playing each other. The winner of that plays Beyond. We'll figure ourselves what's going to happen there fairly soon. $1 million prize pool in 100? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe for WardiTV Mondays 100, maybe we could do an open prize pool. Like, people can donate to the prize pool if they want to. Maybe we could get it up to like $1,000 or something. It's just very difficult for me to justify adding in extra money to the cup, because realistically the cup is already getting pretty much all the best players. So it's extra money that could go into another tournament. Like, so we have to be very money smart nowadays, guys. I know it's I know it's boring. I know it's probably tedious to hear me talking about it all the time, but like, this is not a time in StarCraft 2 just to be throwing money wherever and just being like, hey, we could double the prize pool for no... Like, yeah, it's great for the players, but sometimes we gotta kind of keep making the money too, you know? So we gotta be smart about things, basically. We gotta be smart. Talking about being smart, I'll run some ads between games. I'm not sure what we're about to jump into next just yet, guys. Clem is playing Nikoract. The problem is if Clem finishes with Nico, Beyond is still waiting for an opponent, so that might actually be quite a while. So that might take some time. All the other matchups are going to be potential mirrors. I guess Geralt Strange going on right now is kind of cool when it plays Solar Rex. What are the other streams casting? Let me have a peek. I guess Coke is probably in-game with Clem. Clem and Nikoract are just in game 1, so we could maybe jump into that and just cover the rest of that series. What's Inu covering? Inu is currently in-game with probably SolarX if I had to guess. He's not in-game, he's just looking at schedules. It'd be kind of cool, like I say, if Strange beats Geralt, that'd be massive for him because it would give him the point to guarantee him into the Spring Championship, which would be very cool for him. And it's been fun having the... I'm loving looking at the Spring Championship or the Spring Season standings and just seeing all the points kind of displayed. Again, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, this is the final Monday Cup of the Spring Season. So after today, these points are finalized for the Spring Season, and we get to guarantee all of our invites into the Spring Championship. Everyone into the Spring Championship is essentially qualifying. Nobody is, again, just an invite for no reason. So, yeah, the Spring Championship will truly be a celebration of the players who've been playing the most in the WardiTV events over the past 3-4 months. I mean, 74 to... Monday, 74 to 87 is quite a lot. It's like 13 weeks, so yeah, like 3 months worth of Monday Cups and more. And of course, after this week, we will go... Obviously, the Spring Championship is going to be starting later this week. But then the Summer Championship will start, again, its standings added on as well. So, Reno has not played in anything, so Reno will not be participating in the WardiTV Spring Champs. Obviously, Spring Championship, big deal, $5,000, and the winner gets a seed into the WardiTV 2026 season finals, which is obviously huge because if you were not aware, last year, the 2025 finals, the top players who got those seeds were really able to kind of start much deeper in the bracket and so on. So it was actually very cool and a lot better for them. So it's a genuinely big positive. I missed a Percival game. Who's Percival playing? Alex? I could have jumped into Percival Alex, but I was tabbed showing you guys the standings. So my apologies, guys. We potentially missed a game we could have possibly hopped into already. To keep things moving along a bit, but my bad. My bad on that one. My bad, my bad, my bad. Solo's done. Okay, so Solo plays Geralt or Strange. Cool. You know, that might just be our quarterfinal matchup. I think Solo will be a favorite there, but yeah, maybe we need to let me just go to Europe and see if Geralt and Strange have been in game for a while or not. I don't think they were slow to start necessarily, because I think Strange's first series was pretty quick. They've been in game for 4 minutes, so they've been in game a little while. Did Reno crit SE2? No, he's still playing. He's just... I mean, Reno usually practices for the bigger tournaments. Like when the bigger events come around, he usually starts putting the hours in again. Right now, there's not a lot of bigger events, so I imagine he's actually had a big push in League. I think he made Challenger or something in League, which is very cool, very impressive as well. So, yeah, I imagine that's a factor. We got a Clem lobby. Let's just go into this. Why not? we're just waiting, so we may as well jump in here, which I think is going to be a game 2. Cool. Yeah, let's jump into game 2 of Clem and Nikoract, and we can just sort of see where we're going. Cool. Cool. Counting down into Tourmaline, Clem vs Nikoract. Obviously PvT, Clem is apparently up by a game, guys, so Clem is up by 1 as we head into this map. Let's get this ready to go. In the bottom left-hand side will be our player who is currently sitting at the 1-0 position. That's going to be Team Liquid's Clem coming up against Nikoract, our blue Terran in the upper right side of the map, as we get this up and ready to go. Alright, so getting started off here into a little bit of TVP. Let's see if Nikoract can get an upset. Nikoract, I believe, is safely qualified for the Spring Championship. If I'm not mistaken, he already has enough points. Yep, he has 7 points. He did play in the Last Chance Points qualifier, which is where he got 3 points, so a lot of his points coming from that, but that's the whole point of the Last Chance Points qualifier. What I'm not sure of, guys, the only thing I don't quite know is what to do with the tiebreakers, because I don't know if we really have time for tiebreakers to be played before I need to sort out the Spring group, so I'm going to figure that out. I'm tempted to prioritize players who played in the Last Chance Points qualifier, because I think that's probably, you know, more of a sign of like they were directly trying to qualify for the Spring Championship, so we might do that, but I'm not 100% certain yet. I'll have to decide based on what the scores look like at the end of the day, so. But when you watch the SR Sundays VOD from yesterday, I think Lambo and Harston were streaming it, so probably on Lambo and Harston's channel. If I had to make a guess. I think, pretty sure I saw them streaming it when I checked in a little bit yesterday. You can see the battery coming down. Nexus coming about for a little bit as well. Take a few moments as we just see the Nexus, the Sentry, the Wolf Gate all coming over. And a little grenade from the Reaper just to fight the Stalker for a few moments. A little bit of action on that as well for a moment. See where that goes to. Probe's going to bad, Twilight Council coming up, but Reaper is going to come back around the front for a couple moments then, so again, taking position for a little while, getting set up, deciding what we want to do here for the next few moments. CC building, wouldn't mind the SCV, the medevac and the Marines continue to come through as well. Yeah, I was going to see the hallucination continue to fly around for a little bit. Just going to be seeing those Marines continue to hit. There's a Widowmine. Oh, yeah, it's good from Clem. You basically drag the hallucination onto the Marines. The Widowmine shot is essentially going to friendly fire. Now you've got 2 low HP Marines that should have been full HP already. It's just going to be a mild annoyance for the, for the Terran player. Just, again, you've got a medevac popping up. It's probably not going to be the end of the world. But if you can do free damage, if this hallucination seeing what it needs to see, why not get some damage done? Now the medevac energy is going to be lower than it would be otherwise. And that might actually come into impact in a fight a bit further down the line. There's 2 Stalkers and a Sentry out the front here going to get themselves the Reaper. That's going to put Nikoract onto the defensive as Clem pokes forward. And it's going to get a good force field. The medevac comes in from the other side. The Stalkers and the Sentry step around and do not let the mine do too much just yet. But these units are pretty trapped in from Clem. Let's see what he can do. The SCV pull is going to be very difficult to deal with. As he is going to try and make an escape. Can he get away from the mines? No, he can't. So he's going to lose out there. There was 2 right at the front, so there was absolutely 0 hope he was going to escape out of that. As the medevac loads those mines up, and away we go, taking them across to the bottom left side into this natural to see what is next. That blink still coming through just for a moment or so. And again, the tank, a couple of Marines, the Viking, they're going to make their way over. Just going to see the Stalker going to get a couple shots off. The Woodermine's going to drop in. Clem will handle this with a pretty adept work pull just to begin with. And he does have the blink. Eats a little bit of splash damage. Some battery healing will come into play. Nothing really too major to truly touch on there. As the Woodermine continues to get cleaned up. And that will be the end of that for now. Viking tank and the Marines continuing the production from Nikoract, who actually begins to move onto the map right here. So his army's starting to move forwards onto the map just now. Use those hallucinations, can't do damage. Surely, yeah, we should make a change, surely. Hallucinations should get an update to, you know, if a Widowmine shot hits a hallucination, is it even real? Marines attacks the Viking will just keep stepping forward. A couple of Stalkers taking some hits. You're going to see one more Stalker warped in. Tank shots doing some good work. Good push from Nikoract. Of course, Nikoract is kind of known as the TVP killer, right? Like, he is very good in this matchup. And he's very good at this phase of the matchup. These aggressive pushes and taking advantage of how early game plays out. You know, I was thinking the other day, it actually reminds me a little bit of how Gabe was not so long ago, when Gabe was really like the TVP killer as well. Same kind of vibe of just like the ability to kind of understand what happens early. I don't think Nikoract is maybe quite as killer instinct as that, but it does give me a kind of a similar kind of vibe, at least, you know? Anyways, these 6 probes going down. This is obviously not a 1 game just yet for Nikoract, not by a long shot. In fact, these tanks, if they get jumped on by Stalkers and some charge lots, probably go down very quickly in the grand scheme of things here. So kind of expecting that to probably be a factor also. Let's just have another Zealot warping in. A few Stalkers gather up. Just going to be seeing the Stimpack Combat Shield and the +1 will build. And the Stalkers continue to head to the upper right side. And to get ready for a move around to see what the next step of this is going to be. You see the tank and Marines taking some damage here. The Zealots, yep, you clean these units up on the way home. Like I said, I think you have to clean these up. If you let those get home as Clem, you've made a mistake. And the problem for Nikoract is he was very committed to just getting stuff done here. So now, in a bit of a dangerous place, it's going to be seeing these Zealot Stalkers jumping straight through. Tank should go down pretty quickly. There's going to be a good few Zealots still left over at the end of this as well. They're going to get straight in and put some damage out right off the bat. And it does look as though this is probably going to be a little bit too much, to be honest. I don't think we're going to be seeing this one go in the way of Nikoract anytime soon. With 16 SCVs already gone, obviously a lot of Stalkers will remain alive through this as well. They will look absolutely fine on this, so they're going to be looking great. And I think this is going to be taking a pretty dismal ending for Nikoract, as I'm already just getting a whole lot of damage done for the moment. Temple's back. He has got a 3rd base already in position, but he may be thinking about throwing his 4th base down here as well. Would not blame him with where things are currently set to. So yeah, don't think that would be necessarily a bad thing. Was all together. The few Stalkers still joined up together as well, so we're going to get all of that set. +1 on that thermal lance continue to come through too. And so obviously Clem just getting his tech online to make sure he's absolutely safe playing into these later stages as well, making sure there's nothing that can really go super wrong for him. Fire Army heading back down to the bottom. Again, thermal lens and the +1 coming up as well. And again, the Ghost Academy still building for a few more moments. Fire will pull back. Zealot Stalker coming through. Just going to have ourselves the army coming back around. And just going to see the Marine Marauder Medevac coming about. Armor upgrade coming into place. Just going to be seeing this army ready for Potential jump through here onto this third. Just going to be seeing the Stalk going to blink away from the Widow Mine. A little bit of bio pushing forward as well. Another Zealot going to get taken out by the mine. This Bioforce is going to come swinging for a little bit and try and do something. We'll see if we can do enough here. I do not hold too much belief, unfortunately, for Nikoract's army. I think the two Colossus being untouchable really makes this a very difficult scenario. Like, if you can't hit those Colossus, they're just going to do so well in the grand scheme of this. So that part's definitely not looking great as this army steps back over. The Zealot Stalk Colossus coming through again. Everything coming around, taking a few moments. Bioforce will come up. I was going to see there's also Colossus going to be there, so we take a couple of moments and get to work trying to push in. Again, I don't think Clem's like super eager to push in. He's got an improving position in the game in the grand scheme of things, so I don't think he's really, like I say, feeling the need to rush into this or anything. We're going to see 7, 8 SCVs going down. He's already got Zealots elsewhere. He just doesn't need to force a larger fight. Obviously, he wants to trade. He wants to get value out of his units. He just doesn't need to kind of full commit, full send through right here if he doesn't have to. So, yeah, just playing a very, very comfortable position is Clem at this point in time. Disruptor still coming about, +2 and +1. Continue to come into place. A little bit of bio moving back over. Just going to see the Prism into the main. He's going to be hanging about. Just going to have the Prism get shut down immediately. So that's going to be easy for Nikoract. I mean, nice to get rid of the Prism. Clem has pulled back. He's on a 5-base serve against a 3-base Terra. And when he maxes, I would imagine he starts to get ready to poke forward once again here, essentially. So expecting that to be kind of on the plan sooner rather than later. Did have a result, by the way, on the Perceive Camo game. Camo beats Perceive and will play Bjorn in the round of 16. Oh, and Strange! He got the win over Geralt. That's massive for Strange. Strange with the win over Geralt means he will guarantee his qualification into the Spring Championships. Congrats to Strange. He gets the one WardiTV point he needs today. Even if he falls in this round of 8, this point he earned is going to be big for him in the Spring Championship qualification process. So, big result there from Strange. Like I say, there was not a lot of talking we could do about the about the qualification process because of the fact, just because of the way things were playing. But that is one of the things we were able to talk about. So there you go. There you have it. Alright, 2-2 upgrade, ship weapons still coming through. Let's just have this Disruptor Shot going to fly in. A couple of Marauders are going to get hit already. Another Disruptor Shot flies in off over from the sides. These Zealots are going to run through a pretty choked up area just in the front as well. Something we have to be a little cautious of. Let's just see another Disruptor flying straight on through here. I mean, we've got a Hallucinate Colossus in the mix as well. Nikoract just doesn't have enough. Again, that first initial build not doing enough there, I think really sold the deal on this one. And that will be GG. Alright, what do we do next? Great question, guys. I'm not 100% sure what we do next. There's Percival Q has probably already started, if I had to guess. Solar Strange probably started as well already. Let me see if we can maybe jump into something if I hop detonate quickly. Oh. Maybe we could do Solar Strange. They literally just start as I try to join the lobby. Okay, so Solar Strange isn't happening. Maxpax Classic. We could do the PvP while we wait for Bjorn and Camo to play. Bjorn and Camo have not started their best of 3 yet, so the winner of that versus Clem is, you know, still going to be a little ways off, basically. So we could go for the PvP. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to jump into some PvP, maybe? Yeah, maybe PvP would be the, I don't love doing the PvP, but maybe that's the best approach right now. If we do PvP, are we going to end up going into the winner of this versus Solar straight away? Possibly. Possibly. Maybe we just send it though. Maybe we just send it. Is there an alternative? So this is the bracket. Let me just show you on screen what I'm thinking. So here's the deal. So Solar and Strange literally just begun. Percival Cure is already a few minutes in. So Maxpax Classic is about to start. And then the other match, I think the best round of 8 is going to be Clem versus very likely Bjorn. However, Bjorn and Camo have yet to begin their games. So we should probably go into the PvP with the chance of being able to go into this Clem matchup afterwards. The only concern I have is if this finishes up and Solo beats Strange already, then we should probably start the semi-final and we miss Clem Bjorn anyway. But then I guess if we wait around, it's probably just going to be a similar deal, right? So, yeah, I think the PvP makes the most sense. You guys know me. I don't always follow the PvPs, you know? I'm not always the one. I'm not trying to watch PvP all the time, so... Yeah, that's definitely a little bit of intrigue. So, yeah. Yeah. Coolio. Alrighty. So yeah, we're probably just gonna watch for the classic Maxpax game. I don't see Maxpax online just yet on NA though, so it might be a few minutes for him to get vetoed as well. Like I say, not really. I feel like there's not really like the bracket isn't lining up for us to super nicely and easily just follow along today. I guess is what I'm seeing. So yeah, not the end of the world though. Not the end of the world. ShoWTimE's out? Yes. Single elimination in the Monday Cups. ShoWTimE out. But he already has enough points to play in the Spring Championship, so we'll likely see him later this week. If he accepts his invite. That is the one thing about the Spring Championship, guys. All of the Spring Championship stuff is still pending invites. At the end of the day, when I can invite everybody all at once, I'm going to send those messages out en masse, get everyone confirmed, and get all of that sorted, basically. So we will have our full Spring Championship confirmed list, hopefully in the next day or so. Alright, like I say, missing Maxpax from the NA server, I think, still. But if he shows up, we're pretty much happy to follow into him versus Classic, so just waiting for that to be completely ready to go. We can kick that off. Do ba-da-ba-bum, ba-da-ba-dum. Who did Maxpax just play against? Bly, sorry. Oh, I thought Maxpax actually dropped a map to Bly as well, by the way. Some of them cheeky Bly builds, they just get you sometimes. Doesn't matter how long it's been. Doesn't matter how long it's been. Bjorn just went in game with Camo as well, guys, so... What we could do is if Maxpax and Classic come out of game and Bjorn and Clem are about to start, we could maybe switch series. I don't love switching series halfway through most of the time, but I kind of want to watch Bjorn Clem. Like, Bjorn's TVP's been great lately. It actually has been really a pleasure to watch him kind of really figure out this matchup over kind of the last few weeks. He really, something seems to have really clicked for Bjorn in the TVP matchup, so... Yeah, I think there's a reason I really want us to watch Bjorn versus Clem. I actually just think it's a very cool game, so... Yeah, we'll see. Like I say, we're probably going to start with Classic Maxpax. Like I say, we're also... seeing. Ask them to wait. Yeah, I'm tempted to. My only problem with asking them to wait is that, like I say, I'm worried about the other semi-final then having to wait, then everyone's waiting multiple times over. Yeah. I don't know. Alright. Maxpax has just joined us on NA, so we should probably have videos of him in Classic in a minute or two. We can kind of go from there here in Monday Cup 87. All the 8s next week, guys. 88. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy just watching these counting up. Then 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. 100 right slap bang in the middle of August. I feel like number 100 is actually going to be on a weekend where I'm not here on the Monday. I feel like we can't possibly run WardiTV Mondays 100 not on a Monday though, so we might have to do some. We might have to skip one and do the 100 on a Monday, and then we will do 101 two weeks in a row, back to back or something on Monday and a Tuesday or something. We'll see though. We'll see. Anyways, Maxpax and Classic look as though they're hosting into a lobby soon, guys. So we will just get into this PvP. It makes the most sense. Because otherwise we're going to be basically giving ourselves just sitting around waiting for no reason. So get that sorted out, get this ready to go. YouTube's not moved since last week? What do you mean? I should cast with ShoWTimE again. ShoWTimE is not streaming the Monday Cups at the moment, so he doesn't. He's not around to cast with. Yeah, he's not around to cast with. The YouTube subs hasn't moved since last week? Oh yeah, YouTube subs are super stuck. That's why I said we're going to try and make a bit more effort to mention it, because yeah, YouTube subs in the last month have definitely, the last couple of months has slowed down a lot on YouTube. Like, we really started this year with a lot of momentum on YouTube. Yeah, we've had 113 YouTube subs in the past 28 days, and literally 50% of those came from the TLMC playoff weekend. So yeah, YouTube's been a little bit stagnant on the growth, which kind of expected, but it comes in surges. Sometimes YouTube like pops off and does a lot all at once, and then sometimes YouTube just sits there and nobody clicks the button for a while, you know. Has ShoWTimE finally been forced to get a real job? No, he's still making content and stuff, he's just not streaming as much. From what I understand. Is no one else joining Maxpax Classic? That's wild. Well, no one else is in on this PvP. Crazy people. What's up, Racing9? How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. Hello, hello. And we are, as you can hear, guys, jumping into this game of Maxpax and Classic. No one else is in here, so we'll jump into this best of 3 quarterfinal. PvP, Classic Maxpax. Let's see who will get the better of the other and give themselves the chance to advance here in the WardiTV Mondays into the semi-finals, into the prize money, of course, as well, most notably. Once you get into the semi-finals, that's when that prize money comes up, so yeah, let's get this ready to go and see what we get. Bottom right side will be the blue Protoss player. This is Maxpax. He is the new, since last week, since he won last week, he's the new all-time leader in WardiTV Monday Cup victories. He tied Clem for victories in the tiebreak. Obviously, the most second places does belong to Maxpax, so Maxpax is now the top of the Monday Cup standings for the first time ever. He finally overtook Clem. Like I say, that was a long time coming. And he is in the bottom right side. In the top left, our red Protoss player is going to be Classic. Let me get this one up and running. You had a dream about how Zelnog got created? I've read through your message, I don't even know where to begin. Ay. That's a wild dream. Hero's slacking. Yeah, Hero has not been here for a couple Monday Cups. Don't know what he's been getting up to. Maybe something came up on Mondays. Maybe just with GSL on, he doesn't want to play as many open cups and stuff. Wants to take it easy for a week or two. You know, just save some strats to win GSLs with, perhaps. I think that's maybe, yeah, I think that's maybe where that's going, so... Classic is looking to, hide something. He just won GSL, he's probably hungover. Yeah, but that doesn't... He didn't just win a GSL for the last 3 weeks in a row, did he? I mean, last week he tried to play, but then he was playing the GSL qualifiers. He also signed up to play the last chance qualifier for the Spring Championship the other day. I messaged him, I was like, hey, you're good. You don't have to play. You're already invited. And he's like, oh. He's like, nice. I was like, yeah, you go play some more European ladder and don't worry about that. Probably moving around that left side. We do have the Twilight Council building up around the top, so Twilight Council coming into play already, getting that up and running. Just going to see the couple Stalkers and that Warp Gate coming through as well. Bring this around for a few moments here. And that Twilight Council is going to finish. So, Twilight Council done. We are very close to seeing this scouted as the hallucination goes close, but does not come around the top just yet. And so we'll get into the main base and obviously see the lack of tech here and the realization perhaps that, okay, something's not quite adding up right now. Gateway is not producing. I mean, everything here just says, hey, I'm building stuff somewhere on the map. Question is, can Maxpax figure out what that is? Is just straight up Blink from Classic looking to kill Maxpax early, while Maxpax is obviously looking to secure himself in expansion. So Classic clearly knows what he wants to do. He clearly understands his goal in this game, and that is to, like I say, knock Maxpax down here nice and quick. Stalkers will poke forward. A couple of sentries taking some shots. Go back and forth. The Stalker now taking a few shots as well. And a couple of extra batteries coming up as Maxpax prepares the defense. Good control from Classic so far with these Stalkers. Good damage dealt. It's going to drain some of the battery energy. And then he just steps away, keeping his own units healthy. Going to have a forward fourth gateway as Maxpax sees that with the hallucination. So now he definitely knows aggression is coming. Not like he was really playing as though it wasn't before. But now he definitely will, 100%. Continue in that direction, so a few more Stalkers getting warped in. It is a slow warp in there until that gateway finishes, so of course not going to be that quick. Is interesting. Classic shows a few Stalkers, but he's holding the rest back. He only wants to show the same 4 Stalkers. The reason is he obviously wants Maxpax to basically not know still what's going on. So you're basically saying, hey, look, can I can I keep you from, can I keep you from being able to do a little bit of something as these Stalkers step through? Actually, it's going to make a blink. Kind of keep you from basically knowing what's going on. Sorry, is what I'm trying to say and just getting distracted. Just going to see these Stalkers going to keep on fighting. The batteries obviously have a lot of energy, so there's a lot of healing being done. Good saving on a lot of the low HP Stalkers here so far. Also, we have Blink Away available, and he does blink away in the end. Gonna try and push forward again. Classic will go for the blink in. He is one-shotting some Stalkers. Good force fields. It stops a lot of these Stalkers from continuing to one-shot. And obviously the one-shots are so powerful because they basically, shut down and stop the batteries from being that meaningful. Classic. This is really the moment for him to go. If he doesn't win this soon, it becomes very difficult, especially as the Immortal arrives. Now the Immortal is going to arrive just as Classic gets rid of the majority of the gateway units. He's going to blink away. I was going to say Probes could pull into that. He'll regroup and probably blink onto the Immortal next. And he has not taken too many Immortal shots. I thought he might take quite a few. He's going to pop the barrier. Does he have one more warp in his Stalkers? I'd love to see him just get another few Stalkers before he has to jump the Immortal. I'm just a little afraid of the jump in taking a moment or so, right? If you could lead with the Zealot and let the Zealot take an Immortal shot, that would be massive as well. Because the Zealot eating an Immortal shot would really save the Stalkers for a little bit, as we actually see the chance to shut down a couple of the batteries. Okay, just one. Gets denied by that pylon dropping out of range. Ooh, blink up into the main base. Okay, gonna get a pylon. Gonna see a warping in Stalker. That's a freebie to grab, or could have been. He decides to go for the other one. Now we'll go after a couple of those probes. The Adept buys time onto the rest of the army. Classic. You can just see the desperation of them to try and get something done here. And The problem is all of this is costing him units. Like, the stalker count keeps going down. As the stalker count falls down and falls off, this game is just not really something you can preserve for yourself. And so it feels as though this is going to be more than likely kind of where we come to a close for Classic, because I just don't think he's done enough. And it's still only one immortal, so maybe we still can kill this. I mean, he's down 10 workers. Obviously, he's been doing some damage. He's been putting some work in. One Adept going to try and shade through into the natural expansion once again here. Move up in toward the main base. A couple of the gateways still taking some damage. Going to jump onto this robo facility. Depowers it. Okay, that's actually kind of a really big deal. Now this Immortal's kind of stuck away from any batteries, so we get the Immortal super quickly. And now the Stalkers are still in critical mass against the other units. We blink away to the sides. It's a slow warp in. That Stalker goes down. Obviously, blink versus no blink is massive. And the fact that we depowered the Robo just means we can be so aggressive here. Although maybe we blinked in a little bit too aggressively. We're losing a lot. I mean, what I'm really concerned about is if the Robo comes back online and another Immortal gets out, we've just lost a lot of Stalkers again, right? And losing these Stalkers, yeah, okay, depowering the Robo another time is absolutely huge, because like I say, if another Immortal pops out, the Stalker count is not currently good enough to really do enough there. Oh, those Stalkers are dead as well, so we're actually really on the very tail end of our units here as Classic. He does not have a lot left as we continue this fight. The probes are surrounded. There's not a lot of damage output available from Maxpax either, because he's really lost a lot. Like, Classic did do some serious work here. Now the Immortal is going to get out as the Robo gets repowered again. I think Classic messed this up. I think when he depowered the Robo again, he just got a little bit too involved, and he lost a few too many Stalkers. He blinked to the corner rather than maybe going for a blink out. And now Maxpax, I actually do think, stabilizes Classic, messing up a little bit of the micro potential there for himself and landed him in a spot of bother. Wow. Now Maxpax, what can we do else from here? I mean, like I say, the big deal is the fact he has one Immortal. Classic starts to expand, funnily enough, as... Oh, okay. Gonna get ourselves a couple of probes here. Classic just realizing he needs to just do a bit of damage here, a bit of damage there. That's his kind of new goal at this stage, so we'll go for that. Again, Immortal, the probes, the Stalker, and the Next is still coming through. Just going to see one more Stalker getting warped in. The couple of sentries still chilling nearby. As soon as we'll just gather on the natural. A few more Stalkers, couple of sentries gathering in as well. And all joined up for a moment or two, and just seeing what happens. But realistically, Maxpax pushes back against this, and Classic supply is not really destined to play for a long time here. That is the reality of things, so it is indeed not looking great for our Korean Protoss players. Maxpax looks very good on this opening game. I mean, honestly, it looks as though Classic had it at a lot of points. It was actually very close, but Maxpax is able to just about find the micro in the fights to just stay alive. But just staying alive wins you the game. Whereas just narrowly breaking through, but not quite, doesn't do enough for Classic, unfortunately, in this circumstance. Just because Classic's so committed to making sure he's essentially putting himself into game-ending position in his favor. Stalkers, Immortals, and the rest are just going to come about. Just going to see a hallucination coming through. Just going to be seeing that Prism taking a couple shots of damage, so a few hits coming by for a couple moments. Just going to gather up down that right side, decide what we want to do here. I'm just going to see the Forge and the Twilight Council coming about, Stalkers and the Sentry coming up into place. These units are ready to make a bit of a move. Classic is double expanding now. Well, not really double expanding, but he's now expanding up towards a third base as well. Classic. There's a lot of Zealots. Just going to nullify the Immortals a little bit, perhaps. Well, it's taking a third base. He's had a bit of map control, so Maxpax will be a little bit slower to the third base in comparison. And for now, Classic just heads home. He's going to get the Dark Shrine up, which I think obviously just a smart idea. Dark Shrine going to do a lot for you here as well. Have to make sure we deny this Prism. We can't really let this Prism do a lot. Is Maxpax just going to try and kill him? Is now, I guess, my question mark. Does he come across the map and try and kill him, or does he actually try and take this third base of his own? As we said before, this Dark Shrine is building. Maxpax does have a Robo, and he does have himself one observer, but only one observer, and it is tracking the army, so there's a good chance. I guess the only issue is DTs can't really warp in anywhere nearby, as we recall to try and deal with these adepts because we're a bit out of position. We'll lose a handful of workers while Classic is already down by 14, so not great. These DTs need to do some work, but in fairness, there's no response to the DTs available outside of the observer that's on the wrong side of the map, so the DTs have a very good chance of distracting Maxpax and doing a lot of work. The DTs might even be able to put themselves on the Immortals and the Sentries there. I wonder if that would be worthwhile versus... Probably not versus just running into the mineral lines and causing chaos. Probably isn't going to be something we can really get away with in a big way. Stalker's poke at the front. The few Zealots will start a tank. Like I say, these DTs could not arrive soon enough, as we are desperate to get some work done. Does Maxpax see the shimmers? No, he's moving those other units out. Yeah, this is going to be a disaster. DT in every mineral line is going to be a complication, as he's getting held back on the map as well. So Classic is going to hold him back, and he starts to look for his damage here. New observer starts up, but like I say, DT in every mineral line. The only observer was across the map initially. Already you're going to see Maxpax being equalized on work account now, and that continues to drop here as these DTs. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. The observer just popped. We've got to prioritize mineral lines now. Which one do we save first? Apparently it's going to be this left side natural. The main base mineral line. Okay, well that's just a DT hit and charge upgrade now. That's not going to get anywhere in time. As this DT could maybe get after a couple more units on the third base. We go after a couple probes as well. 22 workers killed. The Prism right here, really aggressively placed. I was going to say Classic is just shy of having vision on that to shut it down. He does lose his DTs, but that's a lot of workers killed. 22, putting him at a 10 worker lead. He is down an attack upgrade. Maxpax is about to have charge. Is Classic's army good enough right now to stand up against this? A couple Stalkers to zone the Prism if it tries to go back into the main. So we've got that preemptively placed. Maxpax was just so underprepared for the Dark Templar, unfortunately. Very, very costly as we see the Stalkers coming through. The few Zealots and the Stalkers going to charge in. Sentries are going to drop some force fields down. It's going to start wrapping around this army. There goes the Prism, so reinforcement's not allowed. However, good force fields really do keep a lot of this army away. As Maxpax, 16 army supply lead. Classic has 0 static defense. No batteries, no cannons. So it's not like you can even step back into like a little layer of safety or anything along those lines. That's just non-existent right now as well, as this army of Maxpax comes back over to the right for the moment. Just going to see the Dark Shrine. I'm going to get jumped on, going to take that out. The pylon getting picked off as well. It's going to be seeing the Stalker's still trading then. A little bit more damage being done. Twilight Council going down. So we actually removed the threat of future DTs. He recalls home as well, so he's going to be in position to deal with Classic pushing. Maxpax has retaken a worker lead, and the army supplies are similar, just Maxpax now has an attack upgrade advantage. I just don't know if Classic can really justify attacking through. It is a lot more Zealots from Classic as well, so the fight will maybe determine a lot. The thing is, against the Stalker heavy count, he could really do with a couple more Immortals. And over time, you see the Temple Archives coming up from Maxpax, so he's really prepping to have the Archons that are necessary to make these trades against the Zealots that much more comfortable for him as well. Stalker's got a few more shots off. That's Maxpax. Bolts back over. What a crazy game. Considering how this game opened, we thought Classic had it, and with the blink attack, and it seemed as though he just hadn't done enough. And he was definitely behind, but the DTs brought him back. I still think he's in just too much of a ditch to truly dig himself out of at this stage, unfortunately. Just don't think we're getting ourselves out of this bit of trouble. As again, we continue to head down the right side, going to set up just shy of this position. The pylon already taking big damage. Force field's coming down. Stalker's going to blink up around the top. We're going to engage on through here. The few of the Zealots come charging forward as well. I mean, honestly, not a bad fight for Classic in the grand scheme of things. Hallucinated Archon might tank a bunch as well. Still has the Immortals to deal with. His one Immortal at the top side. We need to not lose the Prism before the warp, and we need these Zealots. They are going to come in. We are now going to see the Prism jumped on. The Zealots at least get to go after the Stalkers that just blinks. It's good value. It's just not good enough at the end of the day. The upgrade probably did a lot of work here for Maxpax as well. It looks as though Maxpax will close out this game. He was obviously, like I say, kind of advantaged throughout. But he's going to get there. G to the G's. And Maxpax will be up 1-0 in this BO3. Felt like Classic had so many opportunities in this one. Just like I say, fell a bit too far behind, was not able to step back into it. Game 2 coming up in a few. Bjorn and Clem did begin, guys, but in fairness, our first semi-final will come straight after this. The winner of this will play Solus, so we're going to be going into another match straight after, so it's whatever in the end. I'm sad not to catch Bjorn versus Clem, though, because that really was the match I wanted to see in this bracket, so alas, no TVP for us. It is on the other channels, though. I think Inu, Coca, literally everyone else that's streaming the tournament is casting it. I was the only guy who jumped in the PvP to not waste time and ended up missing the TVP. Ay, ay, ay. Sorry, Inu's actually casting Cure Percival, which is currently a 22-minute game on Tourmaline in their opening map, so that is currently ongoing. I will check in again there later. For now, let's get to business. As in the bottom left-hand side, it is going to be our blue Protoss. This is Maxpax. He's up a game in the BO3 against Classic in the top right corner, our red Protoss player. Maxpax was the first probe to scout. No scout from Classic in comparison. This comes into place. Get that on the go. A couple probes just gonna nibble for the moment, so I would say just Classic expanding real quick this game. Now, funny enough, Maxpax is playing 2 gates, so is Maxpax going to try and deny the fast expansion of Classic is going to become the question. Classic building all of his structure in the back as well, so not even walling off or anything in this early stage. Some light about to be done, a couple of probes moving around. And depths on our Wolf Gate continue to come up just for a few moments. There's Pylon seen by Classic, so he's going to know that Maxpax is going to have the Pylon nearby, if nothing else. So you got that bit of info right off the bat. And Stargate and the next is all coming through. So I'm just going to go for a little bit of a shade. It's just going straight across. Set up onto that again. Just going to have the 2 adepts heading to the upper side. Then yeah, the Wolfgate and company coming through for a few more moments. And see what these adepts can do as they shade in. Obviously no wall, so they will get in. And Classic just meets him with adepts of his own. Only losing 3 workers, the mining time being lost as well. Crazy thought process coming up here. I think it might have been worth just walling. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, if you wall, it does bring dangers if your opponent goes like proxy robo, and then obviously your wall off is in danger. It's something that you then have to think about protecting, when otherwise you might just be able to let it slide. So it's one of those things that genuinely does have a reason to do it. It's just not typically seen as... I wouldn't say that's typically seen as a good enough reason, I suppose. A couple pros going down as the Oracle shows up. It's going to turn on to the Adept as well, so... a couple more workers going down. The Oracle finally playing the defense with the other Adepts, and that is going to be it for the moment. Phoenix building about. Nexus on the way. Phoenix from both players at the moment as well. It's continuing through. A couple of Adepts continue to work their way down. across the map also. Phoenix will just keep gathering. Take a few moments. Again, the Twilight Council and the probes. Continue to settle the Oracle into the main. Now to the natural here. Just take a couple seconds. Just going to see the Phoenix is going to hit the Oracle, and that's going to be all these Phoenix showing themselves. And again, removing the Oracle from contention. So Maxpax cleans that up. Classic. He's made a Phoenix of his own, but obviously he's not looking to keep playing Phoenix here. He is playing into the Twilight Council, and so should have the blink sooner rather than later. Phoenix making their way across. Let's see what they can do. Obviously, most important goal here would likely be to get a bunch of probes. So you see that one Phoenix going down. Well, never mind the probes. If we can actually just reduce the army, then everything else becomes an issue too. This is the problem with Phoenix. If you don't have an answer to them soon enough and they can overwhelm your army, that can be a big problem. Well, Phoenix coming about. Let's reset in a couple moments. Bring this back over. And Twilight Council Gateway coming about, the blink coming through. Just going to see the rest of Phoenix back over the other side. Be positioning for a little bit. Stalker's still there to try and put a bit more work on. The Phoenix going to pull back away once again. Again, the Gateway and the probes coming through. And the blink is still coming about, as Classic could really do with that, obviously. Give him some extra mobility against these Stalkers as the pylon will get jumped onto. We'll get cleaned out of this as well. And then just see now Phoenix back up into the high ground for a couple of moments. Well, there's extra gates coming through and online. Again, extra gates coming about, the blink coming over as well. That's 12 workers, so Classic only behind by 6 after that is maybe not as bad as it originally seemed. Again, he'll have blink very early here, and Classic is going to be able to have a chance to do a lot of work. Did he just notice that stasis ward? That would be huge, because you do not want to really be dealing with the stasis right now. He's going to put the Adept into the high ground. That means he can high ground blink if he wanted to go around that route, but apparently that is not going to be our plan. So just gathering together. Is my ping spiking up? It is. Is it going to settle? Imagine it's not affecting the players just yet. It does look like it's coming down, so whatever spike that was is gone. The Oracle gets 2 more workers. The Classic still under some pressure here. Good pull to deal with the Oracle and stop the stasis ward. So very quick, confident, well executed. The probe's got an instant surround on that and shut it down, so no problem at all. Stalker's still pushing about. The Guardian Shield coming up as well. And we're going to see the Stalkers up in the skies. Phoenix putting a little bit more work in. We continue to pressure forward. Oh, nice stasis is going to catch a bunch of units at the front. And Depth and the Stalkers all getting caught up on that. Continue to chase out the other way. A few more shots still coming around. A few more hits coming through. Just having this pylon in some more trouble. My ping is still not loving this game for some reason. So, like I say, sorry for the lag spikes, guys. There's something that shouldn't be visible to the players as... I don't know what Classic was trying to do there. That was not really it. I mean, he's just outnumbered, and plus the Phoenix in the sky, like, it felt like he was going to lose that fight when the Phoenix weren't here. The Phoenix obviously just make it even more complicated as they continue to fly on through. Just going to see one Stalk again lifted off, a couple more dying. This is just a disaster. Classic type of game. Just not sure what really went through his head the last few moments there. That was not it in the slightest, unfortunately. GG's. Yeah, I guess he had to just try and fight it coming out of the stasis, and I mean, I guess I just would have preferred him to just let them die, but yeah. Alright guys, that means that it's going to be Maxpax into the semi-finals, so we can get into the semi-finals. Classic versus Solar coming up next. We'll get straight into this and get this ready to begin. So Classic Solar, Maxpax Solar, PVZ coming up. 85 months, is that a lot? Thank you, Parabytes, for the long resub. It's quite a few. It's quite a few. And we're just going past, I can't even do the math. 7 years? Jeez. 7 freaking years. That is quite a number. It's so wild. Sometimes you get desensitized to like the bigger sub counts because it's like, you know, we see a fair amount of like 60 to 80 month subs nowadays, you know? And it's like, you know, it's like, it's crazy because it's like, it's a ridiculous number every single time it comes up. It's a lot of support. Thank you for your dedication to StarCraft in the stream. As, yeah, we'll go solo versus Maxpax, guys, plain and simple, into the semi-final matchup. Kira and Percival are still playing. Clem and Bjorn still playing, so all of those guys active. And we'll see who comes from that bottom side of the bracket eventually. But for now, like I say, it's going to be our investment into this Maxpax Solar PVZ. So got that ready to go in just a couple of moments. You're watching Clem, Bjorn, and Rex's stream. Was it a good game? He won the first game. Because Clem, Bjorn's TVP really felt like it improved a lot lately, so kind of fun watching him. Bjorn 1-0. I'm not really surprised, honestly. Like, I do genuinely think Bjorn's TVP has been super solid lately, so like I say, I'm really not surprised about it at all. Not at all. Alright, like I say, we're waiting for Maxpax and Solo here, guys. I'll just run some ads just while between games for a couple of moments, so give me a sec on that. The Wardy. Yes, I am the Wardy. Clem looked like he figured out... oh, sorry. Bjorn looked like he figured out Clem. I think, but Bjorn... It's not just Clem, though. Like, he's genuinely been playing really well against Classic. I think Hero's still a rough matchup, but even that was better. And I was just looking through some old VODs from a couple weeks ago. I remember that Bjorn had that 3-0 victory over Hero in a Kung Fu Cup or whatever it was. I was like, wow, like, you know, he's been really dominant lately in TVB. Maybe not dominant, but he's been so much more comfortable in the matchup than what he was. You know, like, it really does feel like something is starting to click for the Terran players. Like, I know we're still getting a lot of these games where the pros sometimes can just, like, overwhelm. It gets to be way too much. They've expanded everywhere. They own the map, and, like, it feels like the Terran has no chance. But I feel like the amount of times that that's happening is definitely becoming less. Like, I feel like it's definitely lowering. And I feel like we're seeing a lot more games where the Terrans are able to stop that from happening and to take control themselves and to push themselves into good positions. Like I say, it really feels as though the Terrans have kind of figured something out as of late. And, really starting to lock in and take advantage of such things. Old Republic, lobby link comes down. And we are ready to go into Maxpax vs. Solo, guys. First semi-final coming through here in a few moments. Getting this ready to go, go, go. Kicking this off in a second. All right. GGGLHF, Solo Maxpax semi-final number 1. About to begin right here. Solo has also been very decent against Maxpax. It's definitely not like a guaranteed win by a long shot or anything, but I feel like Solo also has a good chance. I feel like Maxpax struggles with a lot of the different aggression that can hit from a Zerg. Someone like Solo, who's kind of the master of some of this aggressive play, oftentimes can definitely find himself the advantage he needs against him. I say that, holy crap. Wow. Maxpax won the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 series against Solar. Well, that's surprising. What am I thinking of? Solo beat Maxpax in the 2025 championship. No, I'm just thinking that Solo takes, like, he took 2 maps off him in a best of 5. I mean, he keeps taking maps. Maybe I'm just thinking of that. Wow. Never mind. This is way more Maxpax favored than I thought off the top of my head. I really felt like Solo had been doing okay against Maxpax lately. I guess Solo's been doing okay against a lot of the other top Protoss. Like, he's getting a decent amount of wins against Hero and Classic, but Maxpax really has his number. 7 series in a row in Maxpax's favor. Will he make it 8, or will Solar actually fight back? That's actually, I'm actually a little bit flabbergasted to read that. That is so much more one-sided than I expected it to be. Jeez. It's Clem playing Toss. Clem always plays Protoss against Terran players. Do not need to ask. It is a guarantee. Alright, probably coming around for a couple seconds, get set up. I'm just going to be seeing the drones just nibbling, so just causing a couple of issues early on, nothing too crazy just yet, so get that going, get that started. Cybercore and the Nexus both coming into place right now, so bring this straight through for the moment or so. And yeah, they're probably coming about as well. Just for now. Head coming over, next coming by, a couple of queens coming up, so again, nothing too surprising on this just yet. That Overlord still coming about as well. Thanks to be building. Again, the queen's going through, the lings and the drones all coming up, bringing a lot of this around. A probe that scoured ends up going back home as well. Back to safety. Alright, well, Solar. We know he likes to be an aggressive player. This is Old Republic, though. Can definitely be seen as a bit of a large match. Or a bit of a larger map, I should say. Of course, these two teammates from the WardiTV Team League, the villains of SC2, getting that first place prize. Getting that victory in the Team League about a month ago now. That was a fun one. Looking back, I was like, man, Team League was fun. Forgetting about all the the tilting experiences we had in the making of the Team League, but fun to think back on when you would be like that. And you have the Adept just not going to do much in the end, mostly just shading away and backing out of here. Again, link speed drones, the Lings and the Overlords continue to build up. Just seeing this Overlord still stepping through. That Stalker is going to go and pick that off, so Overlord will go down. Knock on the warp gate, gonna keep coming about, just gonna be heading toward the bottom left side. A couple of Lings trying to run their way in toward that natural there. Not quite gonna be able to just yet. Seeing too much success for now. See those Lings continue to move about. Sorry guys, I got something in my eye. Can't observe for a moment. Okay, I think we're good as the Oracle comes across the map too. So we'll have the Oracle coming over. We have another one already here. Sorry, I don't think we missed anything. Oh my god, my eyes just... being real annoying. Sorry, guys. I think we're maybe good. Maybe good. Oracles fly back over. Again, the Rotron coming through. That last still coming up. 8 additional drones coming by as well. So, I'm bring that in just for now. As we do have the Oracles, obviously we'll keep map control. Not too much lost by Solo though so far. Heading to the lair, heading to the Rotron. It's going to be his way of things just for now. Again, those things gather together. Head back up around the top side. Just going to be seeing the Stalker. Going to be holding that position between the pylon and the mineral line for a few moments, so holding out there for a couple of seconds. Catch and an Evo chamber all coming through. Just going to have ourselves the Lings are going to settle once more. Oh, go blink in the +1 building. A few units coming down to the center of the map. Stalkers and the Oracles. Heading to the bottom left-hand side here just initially. Away we go. Just going to see that stasis come straight into play. Up on the top, those few Zerglings are going to still move around as well. Stalker's going to press in. Creep team already going down. Just going to have that blink about to finish. Yeah, the spies are coming up to being about halfway done here currently. The extra drones and the Lings and the Overlords coming up as well. The Stalkers and the Oracles all still gathering back together. Yeah, that melee upgrade continues through as well. Just going to be hitting this hatchery on the front. That Revelation being hit hard as we see the Lings trying to push forward onto these Stalkers. The moment where obviously survival is maybe at its toughest. We're building a Spire, but we don't have the Spire units out yet, so you're just defending with the bare basics, which is Ling Queen. Now we're going to force the Stalkers back. The moment they blink away, you're kind of done fighting. Like if you push them back, they have a creep. You don't need a trade, you don't want to trade. 6 meters start up. We are going to see these Lings popping out of stasis in a moment. I wonder if Percival wants to fight with those popping. He's just not. He's just going to pull them back. Let them do that thing for a second or two. As again, the melee upgrade and the flyer attack upgrade all coming by. The Lings wrapping around onto these Stalkers again. Stalkers taking some more damage. Stasis Wards going to be getting a catch on the top side. A bunch of those Lings getting caught over there too as the Stalkers in the charge and the +1 all continuing to play. Just for now, and the Stalkers still pressuring through nicely as we get a bunch more done. The Mutas are looking to try and get involved in this fight as well, but I think this is just Maxpax hitting a little bit too hard before Solar is really where he wants to be at, because realistically Solar does not want to be running into this position and fighting with Mutas. Now the Mutas are going to try and make their way around, and actually maybe Solar has hold on enough to get the Mutas across the other side. To be fair, it's only like a cannon on the way up in this mineral line, and that's pretty lackluster considering the amount of Mutas that are on the map, so they're going to fly in. The cannon will not even finish, so yeah, we do successfully get the Mutas across the map. Big deal, because now we actually open the chance to truly be aggressive here, as we do have the Mutas doing a lot of work against these first few Stalkers that show up defensively against this, so that works. A Phoenix will be chased for a little bit too. The Mutas decided to back off. The other Stalkers had recalled, and we're going to try and get a 5th hatch to the bottom side. Solar ended up saving the hatchery in the middle of the map, so the 4th base stays up for the moment, although I wouldn't be too surprised if he's expecting that to at some point go down. Sorry, Stalkers getting a catch on a couple meters mid-map. I wouldn't be surprised if Solar expects us to maybe fall at some stage and is probably very ready to pull the workers toward like the 6 o'clock base instead, should that moment come around. Additional assaults on the probes, the Phoenix still coming through, the unit's going to come sitting onto the edge of the creep spread. On the other side, the Mutas get in, Phoenix going to take some damage. He was doing a good job of playing right on that position. The Mutas now trying to get into the 3rd base. Same time, we do have a little bit of a different army over here this time, most importantly. You know, before this was just kind of Lings at home, now it's some Roach Ravager Bane to help you kind of push these Stalkers back. So Solar, I think, has survived through the more dangerous part of this. Some Banes waddling through for a bunch of workers. What they're going to do, turn back around. I was going to say they maybe could have gone and chased up the ramp and maybe seen some success there, but clearly not meant to be. Not for the moment, at least. Ooh, sorry, stays in the middle of the map, catches a few units. Solar is actually still chasing forward, though, and seeing some success with this run-through. The Stalkers, again, push back for a second or so. Infestation Pit still building. Roaches, drones, the Corruptor, and the +2 melee upgrade coming around as well. Stealth pull off to the right. Stalker still pushing into the middle of the map. Unlikely to want to let this position up. Sword supply obviously looking a lot better than it was before. The Corruptor still building through. The +2 melee upgrade is on its way. And we're going to see the Phoenix coming in overhead, and we start to push forward here. Straight across the Stalkers. The Phoenix gathering. First Corruptor popping out to try and help deal with the Phoenix a little bit. Protect the Mutas. Goes down pretty quickly. I just worry that Solar doesn't have enough damage output on the ground more than anything else. I feel like that's a real possible problem. You just see the Stalker still pushing through. The couple Queens still getting chased back. Ling and Roach Ravager pushing through. Ling's getting caught in the Stasis Ward one more time. Taking a 5th Nexus. Maxpax behind all of this. About 10 to 12 supply behind. Better than what it was 30 seconds ago even. And it's just the roaches trying to hit these stalkers. And Reload's count completely gone as well, so if those all wrapped up, it's just basic units here trying to play this game for Solar, and I just don't think he's able to trade well enough against the efficiency of the Blink Stalkers. They're able to provide way too much value. You just see the Stalkers are absolutely not letting up this attack in the slightest. Roaches still under fire. Corruptors likely just going to keep going down. There's going to be a Stasis Ward catching a bunch of Roaches in the front. It's going to get a good catch there. A couple of Ravagers still morphing in. The Banelings are still coming by. And the Stalkers stay busy around the right-hand side, just going to make their way down to the bottom. Hatchery will be in trouble straight away. As the Lings try to get a catch, again, another nice Stasis Ward. There's just Stasis Wards everywhere. Every single moment it feels like Stasis Wards are doing a bunch. Bane's actually crashed through a cannon, a battery, and some Stalkers before getting to a few probes as well. It's not bad. It's just, it feels like that's the bare minimum of doing something in this game to stay in it, considering the current state of affairs. Like I say, the main issue is going to be for Soul. We have to find a way to push this army back from the bottom side of the map. Ravager about to finish, +1 missiles still coming through, +2 attack upgrade just finished from Maxpax as well. The 2 Phoenix going after the Corruptor. And we do see another Corruptor trying to get wrapped up right there. Still just going to see everything else still coming through. The Ravager's going to fight again, a few of the drones going down. You know, +2 missiles and a bit of everything else continuing as a couple of Banes step forward. The Lings are going to get there. Stalker's taking some damage. Stays catching a few of those Zerglings too. 26 drones going down. Solar hanging on with every bit of Zerg army he can find, but the reality just ain't that much here. And the Stalkers continue to push on in. I mean, never mind the fight Maxpax is now heading to a Fleet Beacon and Storm and +3. So things are eventually going to get a whole lot better. We're just still working to a lot of those things as the Stalkers step up. Lane Roach Ravager going to be there. We're just going to help push the other Stalkers away for the moment. Well, Lings, the Roach, the Ravagers keep chasing through. Stays just going to catch a bunch of those Zerglings once again, so again we get some more damage dealt. Again, Storm and the +3 attack upgrade. Keep on building. Archons coming through. The Roach is going to get a High Templar. And just see a couple of Archons now. Zealots still chasing those Roaches away to the top. GG to Solar. Maxpax is going to take game 1 of this BO3 and head on through to an advantage in this in the semi-final, sorry. Today's WardiTV Mondays. No results on the other round of 8 still, so Beyond Clem as well as Percival Q are still ongoing. We'll jump into game 2 of Maxpax Solar in a second here. I'll just trickle some ads in just in case we get a longer PVZ, guys. Hopefully we do. If we don't, so be it. That was our second game. We'll be ready to go in a second. Didn't see Maxpax killing the drones or Solar, but he must have lost like 20. Or early game, or just later. Like later on, he was obviously starting to kill a bunch here, there, and everywhere as he just kept pushing the front, but actually, like, the early game was super solid from Solar. He only lost a handful, which was... In the end, Solar was at 26. Yeah, he lost like 20 to 25 workers on the side of the screen. I mean, he was pulling drones into the fight as well a bit to try and survive. So, like, that obviously adds up very quickly too. A couple of depths or zealots elsewhere will also shred that number very quickly, so... Top right side, the blue Protoss player is going to be Maxpax, as apparently... Central just doesn't want to be my friend at all. Let's just load in and instantly the game is lagging. Meanwhile, we just played the last game on West, which is a worse server for me, and it was absolutely fine. So, yeah, the NA server not being our friend today. Hopefully, this is not going to be too serious. It's just going to be a pain in the butt to watch, it feels like, but the good news is it's been stable throughout the day, so it should just fix after this map. Sometimes when you just host into a game, sometimes that specific game's connection to the server is really funky, so... Alright, gate in the assimilator coming through. Get settled here for a couple moments. Just gonna have a hatch gas pool coming about. The drone's coming in, gateway building, getting that started. Seeing what we can figure out in the next little bit. Hey, what's up, Dito? Thank you so much for the 8-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you for Prime and sub. Lots of Primes today, guys. Appreciate it. Obviously, keep them coming. Prime subs do go a long way to keeping the channel up and online and helping us to keep on casting StarCraft 2 for you guys. So hit those Primes. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Looks like we're going to finish here for a couple seconds. Just going to bring that about. Take a few moments and figure out what we want to try and do. Stargate's still coming about. The links be coming in. Queens, the drones. We'll keep on building for a couple of moments. And just going to have ourselves this Nexus coming about as well. Drones, Queens, the links be coming over. The Adept and the Warp Gates continue about. Just going to be seeing that Nexus finishing. Yeah, the probes continue to gather in for the early few moments. Another thing I'll just mention quickly, guys, obviously the Patreon page, patreon.com/WardiTV. 100% of everything pledged on Patreon goes directly into WardiTV tournament prize pools. That includes covering the Monday Cup prize money, alongside our sponsors, Loco, Winter, and OSC. Thank you so much to those guys. But that includes us kind of covering money for the Monday Cups, as well as our bigger events, such as the upcoming WardiTV Spring Championship, starting later this week. So look forward to all of that, as we just have the Adepts going to gather about for a couple moments. It's going to get pushed around again. Oracle and Warpgate continue to come through. Next are coming up. Probes on the way. Just going to see the Stalker just chilling underneath the Overlord for a few moments. And yeah, the Queens and the Link Speed continue to come about. That Oracle will be there, providing the high ground vision for this Overlord to get cleaned up. So the Overlord already goes down. A couple Lings step over to the sides. And Drones, Ovies, and the Queens all producing. The few Lings going to pull back down to the bottom left. And get away from here for the moment. Having ourselves 2 more gateways and a Twilight Council building on the side of Maxpax. A lot of that coming up as of right now, as the Zergling is still checking around and seeing what else is going on. Oracle heads right down the bottom. Try to see what we're doing. We're just hanging there for a moment or two. Again, we are going to see the couple of probes coming up. That Resonating Glaive's coming through, and the Queen is going to go for the Oracle for a moment or so, and again, just try and put a little bit more damage out. Still got the Lair Hatchery, the Rotron coming into place. Resonating Glaives continue to come into play, and the Lings still heading just between the natural and the third. A few more moments, a couple of those probes, and take some damage. The Adepts force those Lings back. The Lair will complete in a moment or two, so getting that Lair finished. Drones, Lings, and the Overlords continue to come by. So Oracle comes back up, and I'm just going to see the Lings actually going to get a wrap around onto the Adepts here for a couple moments. The Stalker and the Adepts come back around for a couple of moments. The extra Adept coming through. Huge amount of Adepts are going to try and make their way down the bottom left side, shading for a little while. Heading to the south. You have missiles and the Roach Speed coming up, and the Hatchery in the front just sitting strong 4 bases across the front currently as all of our upgrades continue by. Stasis Ward comes straight into place. Just going to see the Adepts are going to shade down to the bottom. The Lings are instantly here to catch these Adepts, and with Queens nearby to add a little bit of extra damage to those Adepts. Don't get me wrong, a lot of the Lings go down, some drones will start to take damage, but the Adept count has fallen rapidly. We're still going to have a few Adepts. Some of these are reinforcements out the front as well, though. Starting to hit this 4th hatchery a little bit. That's not really a big deal. Just going to see that Temple Archives is going to be coming along. Maxpax already looking to the future. +1 Blink behind it. And Sola's held on, like I said, decently. The only problem is he did lose 6 workers, and he was not exactly on a super high work count. His +1 missiles and roach speed finishing soon, and he will get 100 den going here. How aggressive does Solar want to be? We are going to drone to 69 or so at the moment. 70. So a few more workers than like 3 base all in saturation. Which probably is difficult to justify. If you're going to hit Hydras here and you're going to go into Hydra speed, you probably want a few more drones. If you're going to do anything, it's going to be with a little bit of an amplified economy. By the time we attack, though, if Solar does kind of have aggressive intentions, Storm is going to be done at this stage. So Maxpax's initial attack has definitely just transitioned beautifully in the next stage of the game, right? Being able to move straight through into the next little phase is... Yeah, so just double checking. Yeah, my ping's dropped off, so I don't think it's on my side anymore from what we were seeing earlier. It actually got much better after the first few moments of the game, so... It seems like it's just a couple spikes as we do have the Ling Roach Hydra. We'll try and jump onto a couple of these Stalkers. The stasis in the back, in the center, will obviously stop you from chasing too far all at once. Stalkers will fight through for Queen number 1 and Queen number 2. Now the Stalkers getting after a couple of these Roaches, seeing those get knocked down. Lings and Hydra still coming up. The Queen of the group Spine's building. Stasis catches another group of Zerglings just for the moment. Stasis Ward's trying to settle down once again, just in the middle of the map currently. A few Roaches up the right side. Just gonna head by. The cannon gets dropped into place. The Stalker can take a bit more damage as well. Up in the middle, Ling Hydra continues to push through. Stalkers have to pull back. The High Templar join up. 4 more Stalkers warp in. The Hydra's going to start spreading. Deciding what they want to do here. Big Storm onto the Hydras. Big Storm onto the Hydra on the top side. Solar has a lot of units with so many Storms, which is, I think, absolutely my big concern right now. Like, there's just so much availability to kind of just stop this army from pushing through and to give you the time you need. Now, I actually feel like the last 2 Storms, like this one was not hitting anything. This one on top was a bit better. Obviously, a lot of it's zoning, but it's using your Storms very quickly. So still has a bit of a supply lead. He's losing some drones behind this. He did kill a few probes already. Obviously, the drones lost are a bit of a shame, but we've got to just focus on this fight. Kills off an Archon. 1 High Templar has a Storm remaining. We've basically eaten through the Storms. And we still have a 30 army supply lead. Is it only 1 High Templar left in the game? Wow, so that's actually a big deal. A couple of Stasis Wards are going to look to do a lot of work here as well, so that's also going to be a big factor in how this game finally turns out. There's the final Storm. Unless we have an energy recharge, that High Templar could get another Storm available very quickly with that. Is it enough? Like I say, still a lot of army supply available for Solar here. Morphing in a couple extra Ravagers. Maxpax not really having any other tech just yet. There's a High Templar right in the back that's coming through. First Stasis pops onto some Lings. The second one pops onto some Roaches. It's going to help you a whole lot more than what you were having previously, as the Roach Ravager, Ling Hydra pushing straight through here, starting to fight the Stalkers and the Zealots. We'll keep coming around. A couple more corrosive bars dropping into place. A couple of Zealots are going to step through. This Ravager, Hydra, Roach Force holding its own at the front, but the supply lead is not as much as it was. He is going to kill the base, though. That's a big win. If we turn around, that Archon feels like it's a given. It's just Maxpax not really watching it and losing out on that. He's lost a whole bunch more probes with this base going down, and he is going to have the High Templar steps forward. It's a massive Storm. Solar eats the entirety of it, pretty much. Finally kind of moving all the way through, but man, his army is beat up. Obviously, denying the 4th is massive. Does he want to just back away, regen some HP on these units, and then keep going, or what is his plan? Like I say, it feels a little scary right now with where we're currently sitting, so I guess let's see. As you just have the few Zealots going down the right side, the few Hydras and the Roaches coming across as well. So a lot of Roach Hydra up on the top. Ravagers moving through too. A couple more Corrosive Biles getting in towards the Zealot Stalker army. The Immortals as well there for a couple of moments. Mothership going to hit, eat a couple of Corrosive Biles. Not too major. Just having the Mothership in general is a big deal. I mean, the thing is for Solar is he doesn't really want to rush into a fight at the moment. because given time right now is actually good for Solar because Maxpax is without a 4th base. So Solar's just mining a whole bunch. Again, you see some of the damage being done on the other side. Some of those drones continue to drop for a couple moments. Andrew Ravager back up into the top. The fielding is moving around as well. Time Warp comes into play. Just going to see everything settling for a couple moments here. Storm coming down. Unit still stepping through. Obviously having a bunch more storms available again gives Maxpax a whole new array of ways to trade in this fight. Well, gives you a whole new bunch of storms to utilize, but definitely helps as we are going to see Solar once again getting through to deny this base. So the Nexus goes down. We continue to chase forward. The Hydras, the Roaches, the Ravagers will keep pushing as well. The Mothership has to keep retreating out of here. In the end, I think Solar's just committed a bit too far. Again, one of those moments where you just re-denied the 4th base, step back and give it a bit of room, but Solar wanted to go, 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 and it's going to cost him the game. Maxpax into the finals as he takes the 2-0 over Solar. Man, I was so wrong when I looked up that recent history of Maxpax Solar. Maxpax absolutely dominated Solar. Now that's 8 wins in a row by Maxpax against one of the better Zergs out there. Apparently Clem did pull it back against Beyond, so it will be Clem in the semis to play PVT against either Percival or Q. That is still ongoing. They've been playing a long series. When we were first checking in, they were playing 20 minutes on Tourmaline. To be fair, that didn't look like it was close to ending at that point. So let's go and have a little peek at where Q and Percival currently sit. 28 minutes on Winter Madness, and it is going to be Percival on a 1-0 lead. Ooh. We can watch this from Inu's stream, perhaps. I can bring this up. This is obviously going to be without game sound, guys, because it's from someone else's stream, but at least we get to see a little bit of what's currently going on, at least. No, I've got an ad. Oh, my God. All right, let's have a little peek over on Inu's stream. So this is what's going on between Percival and Kira right here, guys. So, hello. Yeah, a big TVT here in the WardiTV Mondays as we just have... I mean, we join with Kira kind of pushing. Percival playing a bit of defense. Percival's really stepped up lately in a lot of matches. This is going to be one of them right now, looking very effective as we just have a couple tanks firing. Interference matrix coming down, blocking the tank up for a little bit. Like I say, guys, no game sound because of the fact we're watching the Korean stream right now, but just get an eye on where this is at. Obviously, we'll either be seeing Kyo win this and we'll go to a game 3, or we'll be heading into the semi-final, which would be, I guess, Percival versus Clem. If this one does not go to game 3, then obviously it means that Percival has won, and hence Percival would be through to the semis. Percival is having an awesome spring season on WardiTV. Like I say, he's basically one of the top guys on the points outside of the very top few. He's had a very good spring season, and is just continuing to show us great games and great results. Big fight there. Actually did really go a little bit in Percival's favor. Supplies do favor him for a little bit. Banks are actually kind of wild because it's very mineral starved. But gas counts are good, especially for Cure. But yeah, a long way to go outside of that at the moment. Yo, what's up, Man in the Moon? Thank you so much for the 61-month resub. Appreciate you. Does Clem play toss to avoid TVT? Yes, he plays Protoss against all Terran players. TVT does not suit his playstyle. He feels much more comfortable playing PVT than he does TVT. Is Q going to get this planetary? This feels like a very expensive planetary, no? It's a fair amount. Percival. Yeah, putting some damage onto the base of Q on the other side as well. So both players, I mean, those middle bases are going to be tough to hold because, okay, you can obviously siege and you kind of hold the middle of the map at the same time. But at this point in the game, there's a lot of tools to break through those forward positions. So, yeah, those spots are definitely becoming a little problematic, as we are going to see the Matrix is there. Force Cure right the way back. Percival on the chase. He's going to get his own tank sieged up, and he's going to be in position to actually trade very well here. Gets a tank, and obviously even just denying the planetary. It's gas mining. Obviously we can see that the gas count is not an issue, but it's good to still remove this position. Everything you chip through on the right side allows you to move further down the right side next time around, and focus up a little further elsewhere. Well, those Marines move about. Vikings and the Ravens coming around here. Command Center coming up as well. Just going to have the Ravens and the Medivacs. The Vikings continue through, so again, we settle for a little bit. Marines going to come around the left-hand side. There's no base here just yet. Percival staying active. Has got the army supply lead, and it truly is making some use of the army supply lead by being active on the map and looking to try and get things done. So I like a lot of what he's finding for himself right there initially. Little anti-armor missile coming down. He's going to fire. A couple tanks coming through. Just going to see Cure able to push Percival away for a couple seconds. They're now 32 minutes deep into this game. Auditor is going to try and slow down his advance. A lot of Matrixes as Cure pushing up and getting a lot of value. Percival still just has more stuff. He's building 6 Vikings at a time right now, actually. So, again, looking to really stay established in the air control. The other Marines rejoin themselves, and we'll just have the SR turret, or 2, the Vikings and the tank all coming up. He is just bleeding units, man. Again, as he runs away here, a couple of missile turrets got some damage done as well. Gonna just win that fight with the Matrix onto the tank, so able to knock that down as well, just for the moment. Percival having so much air control is massive. 15 Vikings is truly huge at this current point in time. Ravens, those tanks still stepping over. Just going to see the few Marines coming about as well. Scanning up that high ground. Going to find ourselves a medevac. Anti-armor missile will land. Cure just going to say GG. Doesn't have enough. Percival knocks Cure down. Stops Cure from getting deeper in this event, which is kind of a big deal because Cure was one of the players whose points may have mattered. Percival already right up there in the point standings. Has already secured himself Group Stage 2 invite for the Spring Championship. He gets it done in this series over Cure. So Percival getting that win. That is absolutely massive. Big W from him. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Alright guys, so we will be heading into Clem Percival in the TVP in a few moments time, so we'll kick this off and get into that as soon as the players are vetoed and everything. So I will just throw some ads up because we do have to wait for vetoes at the very least, so we may as well just give ourselves plenty of time just in case we get some long games. Clem beat Percival 3-1 not so long ago in the TLMC. I'm not sure if they've played since, so we could maybe like that one and find out. I love how much Percival's been making it through to the top 4 of these cups, though, man. Like, Clem 2-0 in the Big Gabe Open, then 3-1 TLMC, 3-1, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 1-0, 2-0. WardiTV Monday 62. Percival beat Clem 2-0. The only victory Percival has ever had against Clem. He is 1-23 against Clem in series. See if that changes today. Yeah, what I'm talking about Percival's results. Let's look at the Spring Championship standings just because I've got this open already. But yeah, look at Percival, man. 19 points. Like, you know, he's basically performed as well in WardiTV events in the past 3 months as Clem has. But just look at the results. Top 4 Monday Cup, top 4 Monday Cup, a top 8, second place in the Monday Cup, top 8, top 8, a playoff position in the Spring Cup. You know, round of 4 in a Monday Cup. Going to be another round of 4 in a Monday Cup today. Second place in the last chance points qualifier as well. You know, like these are, or third and fourth place in the last chance points qualifier. Like he's just been able to grind up so many points. Shameless as well. Like these guys have been really grinding out the Mondays and actually seen a lot of results on those Mondays. And like I say, you see the consistency of what Shameless and Percival have done, and you look at like Cure or like even Rogue and so on, who's just struggled to ever make a semi-finals of a Monday Cup. Actually, kind of crazy to see that that difference in kind of performance, especially from someone like Percival, who we maybe don't typically hold right up there as in terms of our initial expectations as being such a dominant player. But like I say, consistency has been much more of a thing for him lately. Oh, what's up, Sola? Thank you for the raid. Hello, everybody. We're about to cover some TVP here as Maxpax sits in the final. Percival and Clem are about to play the semi-final of this WardiTV Monday 87. Alright, so Percival and Clem should be videoing, guys. Like you say, should not take us too long to dive on into this one. Should be able to get this going shortly. Get this ready to begin. Do. For some reason, my volume is down a little bit. Don't know how that happened. We just had quiet game sounds all day. I never realized. Ay. Tourmaline going to be our map, so it's going to host it up already, guys, which means we are pretty much set to go. And obviously, it's Percival, Terran, Clem, playing Protoss. And we'll be into this momentarily, just double checking all our casters are getting in here. Should be completely good to go. Ready, GLHF, we count down. Let's send it into Tourmaline for map number 1 of this semi-final match. Again, we know the winner plays Maxpax in the finals. Clem, can he retake the lead of the Mondays off of Maxpax? He didn't play last week because he was playing GSL qualifiers, so Maxpax came in and won while Clem was absent from his ability to defend. And Clem obviously win today, could take that Monday lead back off of Maxpax if he goes all the way. Let's find out if that's maybe a possibility or not. As in the bottom left-hand side, and it's going to be starting off on a blue Terran player to kick this into play. Is indeed going to be Mr. Percival. He's been really good lately. He's been really consistent. It's been fun to watch. Can he take down Clem? It's tough, but I'm not going to say it's impossible. I really do think. I mean, like I say, he's 1 in 23 in Clem all time. And his lifetime of SC2, that's not a great sign, but if there's ever a time for Percival to beat Clem, this might be it in the current day, because like I say, recently Percival has been playing great, so if there ever was a time to not be losing, like I say, this might be that time. Clem, of course, player we needs no real introduction, former world champion. An absolute beast, and he's obviously had his own struggles in the PVTs. He's, when he first started playing PVT, it really looked like nobody could really beat him. A lot of people could not figure him out. Nowadays, Clem's PVT is a lot shakier than it used to be, and that really is just because it was so good before. And again, it's definitely lost a lot of that solidity that it had in the past. Cybercore coming up. Next is on the way. Just gonna see that probe being brought through here. And then Cybercore over to that corner. Simulator setting up next in the Cybercore old building. Just have our probe still producing on through. Getting that building right now. Commence into SCV and the Reaper. We'll build as well. CC coming straight up. Oh, just going to see the Reaper moving over for a few moments. Again, commands into STV and the Marine all building. Kept in the warp gate going through. And again, the Nexus is just about to finish as well. Twilight Council still starting into play. Have the probes and the Adept coming back over. Adept is going to jump onto the Reaper here for a couple seconds. Just going to push that back. I guess the Percival's build here is going to be very quick to the second and third barracks. So a lot of bio-centric play initially, a lot of bio-heavy stuff going to be our initial game plan. Get that initially going. Again, Blink in the warp gate coming through. Just going to see a grenade. Going to bop the Stalker. It's going to go flying for a couple moments. The Marines still building about. The Tech Labs are going to finish very shortly. An SCV and the Marines building for the moment. The STEM is continuing to come through. And the robotics facility is on its way from Clem as well, so just bring that robo up. Again, second semi-final of the day. You're watching the WardiTV Mondays. If you're on YouTube, again, please take a second, scroll down, hit that like button, hit the sub button. Helps us out massively. It's so easy to do. And obviously, like I say, it goes a long way to helping us out, so do check that out. As the Stalker continues down and across, and the Adept is going to try and chase that Reaper down for a little bit as well. It's just punching that away, pushing that over for a few more moments. Grenade coming down, the Stalkers will fly. Against Impact and Combat Shield building as we speak. Observer still coming into play. And yeah, the Blink is very close to being done. And allow Clem to start applying some pressure and of course prepping for what could be a push across the map from this bio army as well. So looking to try and handle that ASAP right now. Marine Marauder coming through. Just going to be seeing the extra Marines still popping. Like I say, upgrades are about to be finished. So we'll have the possibility of Percival hitting a push across the map. No ramp into the natural here on this map. A lot of open space in Tourmaline. Definitely seen as a more aggressive map. So definitely very possible that we could see a very comfortable setup here. If we do decide to kind of push across and try and move in with this bio-based army. Is Clem dead? He's not dead. He obviously wants to try and chip through a few of these units with the Stalkers. He's got an Immortal as well, so on his way through, so it's going to help him a lot if he gets there. Obviously, like I say, there's obviously going to be dangers to this moment. Especially with the SCVs pulling, it's going to be extremely dangerous. Clem doesn't have static defense. Uh-oh. That's bad, because now he pulled to the third base, and then no hesitation to the natural goes Percival. Percival going to stim in there, a bunch of Marines taking damage. He's going to have the Bioforce. Going to try and do as much as possible. We obviously cleaned up the SCVs that Percival pulled across. Clem loses 19 probes, so obviously a pretty substantial number as well, but he does clean up every portion of the army. Like I said, first Percival is being very aggressive with this. Does he want a macro from here? Clem's benefits, the third Nexus obviously allows him to rebuild workers very quickly. Triple Chrono Boost will allow you to reestablish that count real quick, so that's one way for Clem to kind of reset things a little bit. The Stalker step through, they get the SCV, the Bunker takes a few shots of damage as well. A couple of chips coming through at the moment as again Marine Marauder Medevac still coming about, the attack upgrade coming online. That Immortal just about to finish, and again the Robo Bay coming through also as we speak for now. Yeah, that Marine Marauder Medevac all coming through. +1 attack is about to finish. Having ourselves the few Stalkers. Just going to jump onto the Tech Lab then. A little bit more being done on those. Just going to be denying the Tech Lab is really nice. The counterattack from Clem looking good. He's re-establishing the worker advantage. He's getting some free units, so he's getting some good value here. He's kind of blinking in a bit defensively, so I'm a little curious what the continuation of this is going to be, but he's going to come back across, killing Marauders. Does means he loses a fair few units, so a little bit of a loss on that one. The end of the world though is just see the rest of this bio still coming about too. Just gonna have now the army pushing on toward this third base, the few Zealots and the Immortal and everything continue to chase over as well, just looking to try and clean this out. The Medevacs end up lifting and leaving into the main base, so they will be away. Percival, if there's one thing he's actually succeeded in a lot in the matchup lately, it has been his ability to kind of bring back a lot of the multi-prong aggression and the kind of feistiness to this matchup that felt as though it was very much so lost by a lot of the Terran players lately. So his ability to kind of get fights going and to, have all that sort of stuff happening, it's really quite remarkable. Tempro's going down from Clem. You can see that this first drop has already been a success story. The army pushing through, a few more of these Marines and Marauders going down. Again, the command center still continuing through. A couple of additional barracks coming up as well. And Colossus still firing, laser beaming for a couple of moments. Charging the probes, continuing over. Just having ourselves again the Marine Marauder, Viking Force building. Coming along for now, and starport building, a couple extra racks in the SCV, and depots coming up as well. And then Rectangle come through, gets intercepted. Good catch from Clem, denies all those water mines. Make sure they doesn't have to deal with that at all, so that's a great interception. Just catches a bit of the harassment that Percival's looking to keep capitalizing on here. The more we can do with that, happier we're going to end up being. A couple of Vikings and the Marauders still building through. Just going to be seeing that one Marine gets picked off. The Bioforce still going to be right there. We go back and forth a little. +1, the Thermal Lance going through, the Bio Army still chasing the Colossus, stepping away for just a moment. I think the Prism going to get shot down, a couple of the Zealots going to get in after the SCVs as well. The Marauders staying busy and continue to hit this for a little bit. Back to the left side, we'll find a bit more damage as well. Still see the Stalkers coming through. Bio going to fight now the Stalkers. I'm still behind a little bit of supply, still only equal on the worker count, so his economy really not great compared to where it's usually meant to be for Protoss. So we're definitely playing from a little bit of a deficit right here. Definitely trying to get ourselves back on track. I'm trying to bring this back through over the next little while. Just going to step forward, a couple of Colossus are going to be there, and once again, Percival doesn't have a great way to knock them down just yet. It's going to shoot Vikings. Going to get the Colossus. Just going to be hitting that. Still chasing a couple of those Vikings, taking damage as well. A few more shots coming over. Zelda's going to keep charging that Bio Army. Has to keep stepping away. A couple of Vikings still going to hold out. Gets the scan. The Observer goes down. Clem's still pushing up. He has one Colossus remaining, trying to focus fire on the Vikings. You get rid of those Vikings, your Colossus obviously stay a whole lot safer, so you try and do that as best as we can. Just gonna see a few Marines coming over. Again, Prism speed coming up, +2 attack coming over as well. Prism speed coming about, +2 attack coming through. Just gonna have the again, Prism speed coming about, +2 coming over. Vikings, Libs, Marauders coming into place. Continue to get that online. Just gonna see this Bio Viking Medevac force back to the bottom left. A little CC is gonna float over. Ghost Academy is gonna be starting to produce a couple of the ghosts as well. So Percival surviving to a lot of the tech units that are going to see him into a much better state of this game. Obviously, having EMPs available freely is going to be a major benefit, so starting to go into all of that. Medevac goes down, this drop will be dealt with. This one not going very far, unfortunately, for Percival. As Clem kind of needed some kind of easier cleanup going on, like he's had a lot of tougher moments coming through recently. So we are going to have 2-2 upgrades again, the extra couple of units still coming about. So let's stalk that Colossus, looking to push at the front. This Marauder gets picked off already. He's just going to grab that straight away. Knocking that down and still chasing to the bottom left. Going to get underneath a couple of these Libs going down. The Vikings Putting some damage out also. Again, Vikings staying alive a long time, punching through the Colossus as best we can. Trying our best to make sure we can knock them down. There's 2-3 Vikings left, one Colossus still fairly healthy. So some splash damage survivors in the background. This time Clem comes out comfortably in the supply lead. Not the fight Percival needed. Just there, unfortunately, is just going to see the Colossus shooting again. A couple of Zealots still staying up in the front. Disruptors are going to be threatening at this point as well. Once those Disruptors kind of threaten, not a lot we can really do from there. See the Bio going to shoot again. The Colossus will take a bit of damage. You can see the Zealots on the counterattack, so massive wave into the third base. Now, obviously, this is going to hit the third base. At the same time, you're still trying to defend that forward position. That amount of Zealots demands respect. You know, it demands an actual response. And not just like a few units peeling away. And now, like, you know, we can deal with this. We can hold off the melee units. No, it demands respect. And in the end, Clem pulls them back around because he forced the units to back off. Now he's going to gather everything together and just changing up how this attack works moment by moment, pretty much. Just keeping himself doing different things, keeps your opponent on edge and keeps your opponent kind of guessing what the next stage of this game might actually, you know, look like. Disruptor shots here actually don't do much. We actually missed the big connections. The split from Percival was pretty good. The problem is this planetary fortress looks as though it might be going down. Clem had a big advantage, and with that, he chose to rush onto that fourth base, and he is going to get the opening game. Clem, big favorite in this series, is going to be up a map. Percival will be left to decide what he wants to try and do for game 2 of this matchup. Alright, we'll just throw the 1 minute of ads up, guys. We'll, like I say, just help support the stream. I don't think it's going to be long. There's a lobby invite, so just get the 1 minute snuck in there. Help us out a little bit. The more ads we run, the more money we make, the more tournaments we can help to fund. So watching them ads really does support. As we get ready for game 2 here in a couple seconds. Clem and Percival about to crash into each other once again. Second map of this series coming up. Alrighty. In the bottom left-hand side, we're going to have ourselves the red Protoss player. This is going to be Clem with the 1-0 lead here in this BO3. Away we go. He's against Percival in the top right, like I say, has only ever won 1 match in 24 meetings against Clem. And it might now be 1 in 25 if you can't turn the series around. He's looking a lot better. Again, like, Percival has continued to progress. His progress has been amazing. Like I say, he's had a fantastic spring season here with us on WardiTV. He's been an absolute thrill to watch. But, unfortunately, it's just... Clem's good. Clem's very good. And while Percival's maybe getting closer to beating Clem, I don't think there's... I think Clem is definitely still just that stronger player overall at the moment, right at the end of the day, so... Don't have the money to directly support, so I'm grateful to those who do. Well, appreciate you just watching. The most important form of support is just watching the games, guys, because if you're watching, you can support by watching ads, or even just the numbers being higher, the viewer number being up is a big thing as well, so helps a bunch. Again, if you're enjoying the stream and want to support Patreon, definitely the best thing to check out, patreon.com/WardiTV. 100% of everything pledged on Patreon goes to tournament prize pools. And of course, the YouTube channel, youtube.com/WardiTV. Great place to catch up on VODs. Like and subscribe over there as well, guys. Really appreciate that as well. Nikoract is going to go on a little bit of a float over, so we take a couple seconds. See where this is going to go. You always get ads for Twitch Turbo. It's funny because like originally Twitch didn't love Turbo, so they never advertised it. Nowadays I feel like they're like, yes, please buy Turbo. They definitely had a bit of a strategy approach on Turbo for sure. Like I say, in the past it was a thing, and then they kind of was like the little secrets, like don't tell them that we have this feature. You know, we don't want people to actually use it. We'd rather have the amount of people to watch ads be higher. But yeah, nowadays they actually promote that thing. Yeah, Turbo's awesome. Obviously, you buy it and you don't see ads, but we actually get a percentage of anything of your Turbo subscription, because any ads you would have seen actually gets paid out to the streamers as though we had run ads. So it's a great way if you're looking, if you watch a lot of channels and you want to have like that ad-free experience. Turbo is pretty good. I have Turbo now as well, so I can see everybody's VODs and do the quick rewind thing. Like now we can, like, you can click to go back into the stream. I have that. I have Turbo for that. So I'm also a Turbo believer nowadays. I don't know if I'm a Turbo believer. It's just it's genuinely useful. Anyways, it doesn't make a difference to me what you guys do. Just keep watching, keep supporting. We appreciate when you do. Helps out a whole bunch. Still coming up, a few Marines and the Liberator continue to come about as well. A few shots coming around. Just gonna get a little grab. So it's actually gonna get underneath that medevac, but the Marines gonna get cleaned up, so this defense is looking pretty solid so far. I do say so myself. Because the Clem, I mean, it's been lost. 2 Marines. I mean, to be fair, not terrible for Percival. And most importantly is that Clem pushed this back before any real damage got done or anything. The Terran, obviously being the aggressor there, has the potential to obviously maybe work through a bunch of probes and so on. And you know, obviously you start letting that happen, it becomes a big issue very quickly. So good to stay on top of that. It's good to stop it. And we're taking a bit more damage. A couple of Marines in the Cyclone coming through as well. You can see the Liberator coming around. Default YouTube stream feature being on Turbos on Twitch is sad. I mean, they're just different platforms that are doing different things at the end of the day. Like, at the end of the day, YouTube has a lot of things about streaming on YouTube that kind of sucks, so... like, and YouTube also does not care about any of the money that they're losing, it feels like, whereas Twitch definitely seem to try and minimize some of the money that they're losing in the grand scheme of things, so... different business strategies. I don't know. Better to have it on Turbo and it exist at all than it not. So, to be fair, there's a lot less people on that watch Twitch that actually want to stop and rewind a stream than there is on YouTube as well. It's just a different in cultures of how the platforms work too. So, like a lot of people who watch live streams on YouTube just watch a lot of YouTube anyways. They're used to being able to pause and go back and stuff. A lot of people on Twitch probably don't even miss the feature, you know. It's maybe not so true in like our tournaments because people like to rewind and watch the end of a game or something and stuff, but like typically on Twitch and like typical live streams, people care way less about being able to pause and rewind quickly. So big push from Percival, 2 bases, and the tanks are here as well with the SEVs, so big few moments coming in. Clem's army right now is Zealot, Stalkers, 1 Sentry, pops the Guardian Shield, goes for this, denies the first tank before it gets sieged up. Second tank took a long time to start sieging. Good dive from Clem. Dove in, denied big units, and actually is able to stay very comfortable here, and that's going to really make this a lot easier of a defense from Clem. He is looking great at the moment. There's a few Marines still stepping up. The Warp Gate taking some damage. A couple more Zealots warping in as we speak. Continue to bring that over for a few moments. Stalker Zealot will come across. A couple of these tanks still getting cleaned up. The Zealots will continue to charge down this ramp. Marines, tanks getting picked away at. We are going to see Clem taking this game number 2 of the BO3. Clem is able to take the 2-0. Alrighty. When you work afternoons, you watch on YouTube in the evening. Yeah, I mean, the best part about Twitch and YouTube streaming is that you guys can watch whatever is better for you guys and take advantage of whichever. Like, I do personally think Twitch is the better live experience still. But I do think if I want to watch VODs, I also watch on YouTube. So that's kind of good for everything. You guys, and if you guys prefer doing it one way over the other, no one's going to stop you. You can just watch wherever you want to watch. Which is why it's important that you follow on Twitch and sub on YouTube to make sure you can follow us on both places. Easy to find your StarCraft content. Alright, we'll throw some ads up, guys, and it's finals time as Clem gets the defense and Percival falls in the round of 4 today. Not a bad run. As Clem and Maxpax will play this finals. Well, this is exciting because, like I said, it's probably going to be quite interesting. So we'll get this going. So it's going to be quite interesting because of the Mondays things. Let me bring that up and we'll get that ready to talk about in a bit. Cool. Right, so yes, the exciting part about this Monday final is going to be, I'm probably going to talk about this when we get into the game as well, but let's just jump onto here for a moment, is when you go onto the history of WardiTV Mondays, obviously Clem and Maxpax's names show up a lot because they are the most winning players. In fact, both of them have won 23 Monday Cups. He was chasing these guys down for a while, he's not played a couple weeks. Maxpax, for the first time ever last week, took the lead on this Medals Won leaderboard because he has more second-place finishes than Clem. It's the first time he's been tied with Clem for amount of wins. So this is going to be Clem's chance. Clem didn't play last week. 2 weeks ago, Maxpax had the chance to catch up because Clem opened the gap again by beating Maxpax 3 weeks ago. Maxpax undid that 2 weeks ago. He won last week to get the back-to-back victories against Lambo when Clem was playing GSL qualifiers. And now this week, Clem is here to maybe retake that Medals Won title, for the moment at least. Is kind of crazy, by the way. 46 cups won between Clem and Maxpax out of 87. It's a lot of winning between these two, to say the very least. So, yes, this finals today, obviously going to be pretty exciting to play out and excited to see what comes of this, as we will be heading into games soon, guys. Getting this ready to go. Alright. Do we know when the new maps will hit the ladder? You're probably looking at least another couple of months, if not more. Because they have to go through the TLMC voting process, and the TLMC has to wrap up, and then they have to do, like, post-tournament QA, then they have to go to Blizzard and then get approved. Blizzard gets to do stuff like tell them, hey, this map name's not okay and stuff, and we have to change this or that or whatever, or the performance issue may be a thing, or whatever, Ladder editions get made, and then eventually they get published onto the ladder, so... There's a pretty hefty process still to kind of go through, essentially. So, yeah. Not going to be in the next few days, basically. It'll not be in the next few days, but it'll be in the next... it'll be in the fairly... Like 2 to 3 months, I would guess. I would say 3 months is more on the long side, especially considering TLMC wrapped up last month already. So, yeah, a couple months... But we don't have a date or anything. I'm just going by usual expectations of how long these things take. Welcome, and Maxpax are ready to play. GLHFs are being dropped in the lobby. Old Republic's going to be our opening map of this finals, guys. We'll do a proper intro when we get in game. I'm going to do the YouTube sellout, okay? We're gonna, when this goes on the YouTube, we're going to make sure people know to hit that like and sub button. Like I say, we're back on the YouTube grind where I'm not letting this freaking... get away from us. I'm not letting the 50k subs not happen. We're back on this grind. We're going to grind this out. We are going to make this a thing. So, yeah. Countdown. Done in a second. We'll kick this into play, guys. Old Republic. Welcome to the grand finals of WardiTV Mondays 87, as we have got ourselves the two most winning players of Monday Cup history. And not just that, but today is a big day as they both sit on 23 wins in the Monday Cups. Last week was the first week that this guy took the very top spot. With more second place finishes, Maxpax finally became the most successful WardiTV Monday player of all time after he was chasing down Clem for the past 86 editions essentially. He finally caught him, finally overtook him, only on the second places though. They're tied for first place wins, which does put Maxpax, like I say, ahead on the leaderboard. And what that means is that today, Clem can retake that lead with a win, and obviously Maxpax could actually take a proper first time being maybe the most winning player by actually being the most winning rather than the most second places behind them being tied. So Maxpax in the bottom left, Clem in the upper right. It is the finals, which means it is best of 5 time here in the WardiTV Mondays. We're going to kick this off and we're going to get this ready to rumble. So in the top right side, Clem, in the bottom left, Maxpax. We've kind of introduced them already. Let's get onto our obs and let's follow a probe across the map early. As Clem and Maxpax in recent history have definitely gone pretty back and forth. We'll look at a couple of their recent results. We can have a little bit of a peek. As this probe actually shows up, I'm going to go nibbling at the SCV initially, so a little bit of harassment from Maxpax. But yeah, most recently, Maxpax beat Clem 2 weeks ago. That was the last time they played in the WardiTV Monday 85 finals. The week before that, 84 finals, that was going to be a Clem victory. Also, that was a 3-2. Back in the TLMC finals, which was now 2 weeks ago as well, and that was Maxpax's victory 4-3. So lots of back and forth between these guys. The time before that, Clem won 3-1. So lots of back and forth in their recent meetings. It is in theory Clem's turn to win if they trade evenly, which they have been doing as of late. But obviously, there ain't no guarantee that that's going to happen, as these two oftentimes very well matched for one another, and oftentimes giving us some of the best StarCraft 2 that there is. Whenever we have some WardiTV highlight reels and so on, you almost always see these two guys going at it in those moments. So let's see what takes place here. As this probe moves around, we do have that Nexus coming into play. The Adept, the Warp Gate, the probe, and the Nexus all building up here. And again, the grand finals of today's Monday Cup. Edition 87. We do have, I'll just quickly mention this, guys, if you're watching live, we do have sponsored content after this, and it is sponsored content that is very, very much so based on our viewership. It'll be on Twitch only, but if you do want to stick around for a few minutes when the stream ends, when the StarCraft ends, even just sticking around for 5 to 10 minutes extra can help us get more money out the sponsorship, which allows us to run more StarCraft 2 in the future as well. So if you guys want to help that out, literally just stick around when the games wrap up. I really appreciate you. And, yeah, helps us to, like I say, put more money back into the StarCraft 2 ecosystem, running these cups, as well as all the other WardiTV events that go on. Thank you, Stipchip, by the way, 54-month resub on the Prime, as we do have our gateway coming down. A couple of barracks coming through, so it is going to be a 3-rack setup from Clem, but also off of a 3rd CC. So very bio-heavy, very big economy. So big eco, big... kind of a fun mix, right? Because you're going to have good eco, but you're also going to have the threat of just a lot of bio units early and their ability to kind of come through and to potentially get a whole lot done as well. So I think it's such going to be really interesting as we see this Nexus drop down from Maxpax on the 3rd base. And the thing that Maxpax has right now is that his information is fairly limited, no? Like his info on this map is pretty much non-existent. He does not know what's behind that wall off, basically what he's already seen, so Maxpax playing in the dark and having to figure this out step by step is going to make this a little bit more of a complicated process for him, as Robot Facility is going to be his next step. I mean, it's very standard from him so far. There's not really a lot of decisions to be made. He's playing super standard. He's taking his own 3rd. And obviously, we know that kind of just playing normal is probably okay, because he's not going to be under heavy pressure. What he is going to be under is going to be the heavy duress of economy, because Clem's going to have more eco than usual. So if Maxpax plays safe / a little bit standard or a little bit safe, let's maybe say, that's already bad for him, because Clem's build is naturally greedier. It's going to give him more eco to work with. That means more units. That means more momentum into the mid game and potentially more danger, especially when he's going to have such a large bio army to work with as well. And Maxpax is not going to have splashdown for some time in this game. As these Marines step forward, they get the Adept. It's kind of nice because the Marauder was about to pop with concussive shells, which would have grabbed the Adept as well if it just took one shot, but Now you don't even have to reveal the fact that you've got a Tech Lab barracks already. So again, you're just hiding information from Maxpax, who, as moments pass by here, you might be able to kind of go through the process of elimination. Okay, it's past the time of a mine drop, so clearly it's something else. If there's no mine drop, are we actually on a starport at all? You know, I'm not seeing a Raven either, right? So yeah, maybe you do narrow this down to it being a bit more 3-racks focused. But like I say, these are all presumptions based on what you're not seeing, and there's always the chance you get kind of mind-gamed in that as well. So it's never 100% confidence from Maxpax in this game as to what exactly is happening. Clem's about to finish STEM. I really feel like there's something of an opportunity, considering the fact he's going to be on a really good economy, to also still just go across the map and get a lot done in the near future. Very exciting. Those Stalkers step through, knock down the Marine. It's going to be seeing the bio gathering up. A few more of the Stalkers will be there. And we just have ourselves the +1 on the combat shield coming through. Marine Marauder SCVs coming about as well. We're just going to have the Observer coming back across and repositioning for a couple of moments. The Ob's just going to be pulling away. The Orbital will drop back down. Just going to get the scan out and just going to nab that Observer already. The Prism, the +1, and the Charge still building through, and that Robo Bay is going to be just starting up as well. So bringing that straight into position for a few moments, getting that online. Just going to see 2 more barracks already dropping into place. So putting those straight down in position as well, getting that all set up, and away we continue. Going to see the Marauders actually trading pretty well. Going to see a warp in his Zealots. Clem does not decide to go too much further just yet. Just going to sit back for a few moments, holding back on this one. Just going to see the Zealots still chasing through the Stalkers coming about. Just going to be seeing the Bio going to be there dealing with a few more of those Zealots. A couple more of the Zealots charging through. Marauder gets saved, picked up into the medevac already. Nice little bit of micros. We are going to see more Zealots warping in. I feel like Clem is very well set just to deal with a lot of gateway forces, right? Because he's going to be able to build a lot of bio off this economy. Work count already in Clem's favor, which is amazing when we're talking about a TVP, because obviously Terran also has the mules on their side. Maxpax is teching up. He's got the Colossus on the way through. First one of those already finishing up in the next few moments even, so we're on our way to, you know, a setup for Maxpax that I think in general is going to be great for him. Just, he's losing a fair few units. Resources lost already in this game. A little bit favoring Clem. He has lost a lot of Marines and Fennis, and these Zealots have cleaned up too. Going to bring the resource loss a little bit further into Clem's favor, as that's just a nice, easy cleanup, so no problems there. The rest of the Bioforce still pushing at the front. Maxpax a little bit split, obviously leaving his main army, or what's left of it, out at the front. When a mine shot goes off, a couple of hits coming through already as well. Now just having the +2 and the thermal land still building into play. Marine Marauder Viking coming up. Armory into place as well. Engineering base still building. A couple probes are going to pull back down. Big army into the center of the map. Stalker's going to get chased around for a couple moments too. Doesn't actually going to get caught, is going to get pushed out of here, so we actually do again deny this. So far, Clem's been really on top of denying a lot of this, as this Colossus just out in the open, reinforcements, the rest of the army just off to the right side. So the Colossus saved by the Prism, but damage taken already. Does Clem have enough to punch through this? The Zealots are going down very quickly. He's going to decide he can't stick around, though. It feels as though he has to back away from it. Probably the right decision in the end. But, wow, that really felt scary. It felt like he was going to get a Colossus, then maybe just capitalize and just keep going. Like I say, obviously got stopped just shy of it becoming a real big issue for Maxpax, so maybe not all that bad in the end. But now he ends up dropping into the natural. Maxpax not dealing with this well at all, not in position in the slightest. And now he's going to lose a forge. That goes an armor upgrade. Kind of a big deal, because it means that those Zealots are not going to become as tanky as they want to be deeper into the game. Usually over time, those Zealots become really tanky, and as they become really tanky, it becomes really nice. But, yeah, obviously without an armor upgrade, you're going to be slowed on that as Clem progresses towards his own 2-2. And Forge Snipe is going to be a pretty darn big deal. So love to see that for the moment here. Just take a few moments again. The upgrade's coming about. Ship weapons coming up as well. More Vikings as we just prep ourselves for those. Again, the +2 attack coming around. The Shadow Stride in production. These Zealots are just going to head back towards the top. Just going to dive in toward this mineral line. A couple of the SCVs. Mainly in some trouble, but may lose a couple. Bio is nearby. Clem deals with this nicely. He's 190 to 150 supply. Maxpax adding 2 more robos, so you can go into a lot of reproduction on the Colossus and so, maybe even Disruptors soon. Again, working on that Shadow Stride. First DTs on the map. It's going to be one of the big things we keep our eyes on to see how Clem deals with all of this as the DT gets to business, and Clem not in position initially, does come over, is going to catch this Prism, so while the units unload, it's still going to be fairly expensive because Prism goes down, that'll be the end of that. 12 SCVs have fallen, there's a little bit of harass in the main base still going on. I believe that's a DT that's still bringing itself into a bit of an annoying position and just dealing with a lot of the economy of Clem, so that's probably the biggest thing that's really happened in the last few moments. And again, a couple of the Disruptors and everything still coming by. Just going to see the Stalkers coming over also. Rain the Ghost is going to push back. The Zealots get chased away. Everything else still regathering. The couple Stalkers are going to step back through once more. Just going to be seeing the Bioforce. Still trying to hit the Stalkers. Taking a bit more damage again. I'm going to be seeing the Bio Army continue to come across. Which gets the Disruptor, which is really nice. Anytime you're going to be able to grab a unit like that, attack unit kind of freely, you're going to be pretty much so just enjoying that. That's definitely a big positive. Once again, +3 attack, +1 armor. Still building through. The couple of Disruptors still building as well. Continue to bring that online just for the moment. Get that into place. As I'll stalk Colossus in the middle of the map, still positioning too. There's Viking forces nearby, ready to get towards those Colossus. First one going down already, so Colossus falls just initially. You can see this Bio Army setting up. The Viking's going to go for another Colossus, gets rid of that very quickly too, so the tech units are just dropping. I think you're seeing a little bit of the advantage from the early game from Clem, or the early mid game from Clem. Really starting to shine here. Just the amount of stuff that he is able to have compared to his opponent is absolutely phenomenal. As we all going to see, the Zealots are going to buy a bit of time. Disruptor shot lands on a single Ghost. Obviously, a lot of Clem's supply is Vikings, which are not necessarily adding too much to this fight. It's nice that they're still putting some damage out, but they're not being the most kind of deadlier things. As Clem still pushes through. Medivacs still have a bit of energy left, so they can keep units topped up on health, which means that every stim is not going to become more and more deadly here. We're going to finish that next, so we're going to trade with these Zealots. Yes, we are. More Zealots around the left side. The issue with the Zealots that Clem's having is probably just the Marauder count. He's very Marauder heavy, so the damage output against the Zealots is not exactly ideal. It's actually one of those moments where denying that armor upgrade earlier is probably a big deal. Imagine these Zealots are 2-2, and they actually are just that much tankier. The difference that probably makes in some of these engagements could possibly change exactly how it went. I mean, always definitely would change it to some extent. Having an entire armor upgrade advantage would be really nice, but yeah, especially just with how tanky those Zealots are against what was quite Marauder heavy. Now we're seeing a few more Marines filter in. The Ghost count is being kept very comfortable as well, which does also help with the Zealots a little extra. Clem now at a 30 supply lead. He continues to push down to the bottom of the map. Does not look like he's going to be backing away from this one anytime soon. We keep pulling away. A couple of Zealots, the Disruptors, and so chasing. EMP and 2 coming down. Disruptor shot landing, hitting a couple of bits and pieces here. Another Disruptor shot trying to land, doesn't finish up just yet. So it's the Stalkers just keep on coming by. Just going to be seeing the Disruptors. Does get a decent connection off. At the end of the day, what Clem is seeing here is he has a nice pickup on the Ghost there. What he's seeing here is basically if he sticks around long enough in this fight, he will break through onto those Disruptors and be able to clean up the tech units, which really makes it very difficult for Maxpax to stick around. The Zealot warping is slow, unfortunately, and that means they're going to go down for free. They don't add anything into this. Clem clearing up house here on Old Republic as he looks to hunt back his first place position in the all-time leaderboards of the WardiTV Mondays with a win in this final. That Disruptor just goes down in time, a little bit scary. But yeah, as the Disruptors fall, and this really is just Zealot Stalker, Maxpax truly isn't going to be turning this around anymore. G to the G. Clem finds himself a 1-0 lead in this finals of WardiTV Mondays. 87, that's out then ads. Thank you for joining us. Got 340 viewers on YouTube suddenly. Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining and being here for some Clem Maxpax action with a game 2 coming through in just a few moments. Invalid map. Sometimes I think joining the game too quickly nowadays punishes you as well. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, Maxpax and Clem joining us here. Maxpax immediately asking Clem if he's ready. So we're not going to waste any time getting into this one. Tourmaline is going to be the second game as well. It's funny because this is a map where maybe not the 3cc aspect of it, but maybe the bio and kind of like big barracks opening aspect of it could be cool. However, opening just bio and not into the tanks and the, well, just the factory and the cyclone and the tanks and so on, can definitely leave you open to a lot of the early Stalker pressure, which is a risk, and maybe more so a risk on Tourmaline than it was on Old Republic. So perhaps that's why Clem goes for big bio opening on that previous map compared to, you know, what he might do on this map, which I actually think probably is more likely to be just a Reaper into a factory early. Or maybe you do just skip the Reaper and go Marines into the factory, but really expecting that factory to come down much sooner this time, heading into this game too, rather than him sticking to that kind of big biocentric play, because like I said, on this map, it's just not a good map for playing heavy bio units on early either. You know, what do we have to take advantage of? Like, there's no, you know, realistically, if you want to go from natural to natural, you don't have to go up or down any ramps. There's no position where if you moved out with a few bio units, you could hold a high ground for an advantage. This line of sight blockers may be the best you do, but then your units are super exposed, and line of sight is less powerful than the high ground aspect, so... Because you can sometimes, you can kind of work your way around the line of sight, whereas you can't work your way around a ramp, unless you completely change your pathway of moving, right? So yeah, like I say, definitely expecting a factory earlier this time around from Clem, unless he was to open something very different, like maybe if he opens like a couple Marauders straight away or something, and something that does give him a lot more map control, and that Marauder count early may allow him to then skip the factory against a Blink build, because he's going to have more Marauders against the Stalkers super quickly. Maybe something like that could kind of do so. As, oh, it's a tilter. Losing the SCV to the probe is not obviously meant to happen. It's going to be a small victory for Maxpax early in the game, as he looks to bound back into this grand final, game number 2. As the EVM probe, nibbling once again. Again, Orbital coming through, the Reaper is coming about, Command Center still coming by. Again, Cybercore, Pylon, Nexus, building into place, the Assimilator coming into position. That's the Reaper. There's a tech lab on the barracks, so we may actually go into some Marauders early then. There's going to be Marauders and Concussive Shells. Well, I mentioned it's a possibility. It is going to be what we go for here. Now, the Zealot's going to show up. Marauder is going to be a little while. SCV is probably going to be pushed off the Command Center for a few moments. As the Reaper, obviously, is putting some damage out, but the Adept will generally be able to stop it and force it away. As, yeah, the Zealot actually gets a kill on the SCV too, so that's actually really nice. And he scouts the fact that this is a Marauder opening, so no surprises. There's not going to be any sort of like, haha, suddenly the Marauders Concussive Shell my Adept and I'm going to lose the Adept, right? I have to pull a few SCVs to deal with this. That Marauder's super low, so it really takes away any potential of it moving across the map anytime soon. It's going to be a pretty big factor as well, I think, as Twilight Council, the Gate, and the Probes, Stalker, still gathering together. Yeah, Marauder and the factory continue to build through. Let's just see the couple of Adepts still in the front, gathering and shading, and seeing what we can do right now. Seeing the Adepts commit and they get rid of that first Marauder. I mean, like I say, it was super low. We don't have any way to heal it up early, so it does just go down. Now he will turn around and get an Adept, though, and the other Adept, this will shade away. Obviously, this involves us going up to 3 Marauders in total, so a lot of investment early. Those Marauders don't just cost gas. They're actually very mineral expensive early on, too. 100 minerals for a unit is pretty pricey, right? When you consider, like, 100 minerals gets you 2 Marines, and you're paying gas on top of it as well, like I say, it's a pretty pricey kind of investment to get those Marauders truly kind of out and on the go. So see the starport with a couple of SCVs in the tank coming around, and we do have the single Adept here. Just going to shade through, get past those couple of Marauders, try and see what we can do. Answer is not too much just yet. Still got the blink about halfway done as well. See the Marauder coming about. See the 2 Marauders. Well, 1 Marauder goes down. We are going to see that Stalker getting picked away at as well. And again, just having the Prism, Stalker, all coming through. Adept and the Stalker. Still moving up to the top side. Tank is going to fire. Stalker going to take a shot. Tank is going to fire. The Adept will take a few more hits as well. Adept will go down. We have a couple SCVs continue to drop off as well at the moment. Again, Viking tank and the Marines are still building through. Just going to have that tank sieging. Stalker's resettling in the center. If all is said and done, resources lost is going to be very similar kind of across the board here, so that part is pretty even. You're going to see Maxpax starting to head in toward a third base as well. It's just going to get that brought up for a few moments. Stalkers staying aggressive, ready to jump to the high ground. Siege tank going to get caught. It's going to be a nice quick cleanup on the first tank. Clem has nothing on the high ground to help against this at the moment. Viking off to the side goes down as well. Clem's just dead. He has nothing left. These Stalkers hit with the, with the tank going down, the defenses are just gone already. And that is a very quick way to close out a game 2. Tie us up, and we're going to be back into a tied-up situation as Clem and Maxpax continue to lock horns in this finals. Winter Madness for our third map as we get this one on the way and see whether Maxpax or Clem will be able to take a lead onto match and tournament point today with this one. Alright, as you can hear, countdown is on. Soulman, thank you so much for the 18-month resub on the Prime. Super appreciate it. As always, if you're out there, anything that's supporting, please do. We really appreciate all the support. It allows the StarCraft to keep going. Whether that's checking out the Patreon page, whether that is hitting us up with the Prime subs. I know there's a bunch of you out there on a Prime sub right now that's just not actually being used. So if you don't use it here, at least go put it on some Twitch channel somewhere. Make use of it. Make Twitch give us money. There's nothing wrong with that. So do check that out. We appreciate you all. Let's get into this. Game number 3 is in the top left corner. The red Protoss player is going to be Maxpax. Having this series tied up 1-1 right now in the series. So, still tied up. And in the bottom right, our blue Terran is going to be Team Liquid's Clem. And yo, Jet, thank you so much for the Prime sub. See, I knew there was at least one Prime sub out there waiting to be given a home. Thank you so much for your Prime. Super appreciate it. Like I say, allows us to keep on cranking out the StarCraft for you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Anonymous, for the donation. Money. Thank you so much for the £8. Thank you very much indeed. Appreciate the support. Thank you for the donation. And obviously another way to support as well, guys. If you don't want to do it through the platforms, you can just straight up donate. As we have ourselves the SCV and the probe nibbling for a couple of seconds here. Engineering Bay will come around, get set. Obviously, Engineering Bay block forces Maxpax a little bit out of position, so going to be awkward for a moment or two. 2 SCVs is going to be there. The probe gets nibbled at for a couple seconds as well, so a bit more damage to be done just for the moment. Still have our Cyber Core, the Nexus, and the probe coming up as well, so again we bring that onto position just for now, and we have the Adept going to be Chrono boosting for a couple moments onto that gateway. Just going to be seeing this Marine continuing over as well, so again we get that all into play. That all set up. Adept in the warp gate. Continue to build on through. SCV in the Marine will be building up, so again we take a couple moments, get this all started. Engineering Bay block. Something that Clem used to like to take advantage of a lot. Force the third out of position, proxy the starport, and go for that kind of Hellion drop off the proxied medevac. It was a Clem special for a very long time, honestly. But the sort of thing that I think Maxpax is very switched onto nowadays, and very unlikely to let really be taken, really let himself be taken too much advantage of by. People still moving up. And again, there's the SCV and the Hellion on the way through. That starport just ticking along as well. Let's bring that starport over. Getting that set into place. I'm going to drop a depot down on the other side of the map. And move into the corner of our main. Stalker. I'm just going to go with the Reaper for a couple of seconds. Just going to handle that for a moment or two. Getting that blink coming about. Warp gate coming across. Get that into position for a few moments. Attack lab about to finish on the factory. Starport going to come into play as well. Just going to move on over for a couple seconds. Maybe just going to be sitting tight for a couple moments too. When we do have the blink, the robo, the probes, all of that building up. Getting set back into play. Nothing to really talk about then. It's just this Reaper moving around. We got that adept kill earlier as Clem. He lost a Marine, and that's where this game currently resides, with obviously the potential blink being there soon from Maxpax. Let him have a Raven this game. Possibility to get some harassment done with that. Obviously put it between some mineral lines. Have a choice of which mineral line you hit and knock some probes down with. Some possibility of something there. Like I say, let's just see the prism and the blink continue to come through. The Maxpax will be moving over. 2 additional gates will take us up to the 4 gateways, so it's actually going to be one of the more aggressive blink builds that Maxpax typically utilizes. Let's get straight to that right now. As the Nexus ticks along on the third, oh well, on the natural, but that will be his third Nexus that just gets started up there and starts to progress into the game. And the tank marines in the stim building up. So if you're coming around, a few stalkers hop to the high ground. Gonna get in after a couple of SCVs already, so it'll do some damage right away. I'm just gonna help to accompany these marines pushing that prism out of here. So again, chasing that back the other way. 6 SCVs going down though. Clem already down a lot of damage. We come back in with the prism and the stalkers. Doesn't do too much just yet. Pretty quick liftoff. Pretty quick back away from Maxpax. But like I say, already not a bad bit of damage done. Puts him at kind of the work count advantage you would want to be as a Protoss. Making up for a little bit of what is a later third than what it could have been to invest into those 4 gateways initially. Stalkers will kill the reactor on the starport right there. So just going to handle that. I'm just going to see again, Stimpack Combat Shield +1. Continue to come die. Charge building up. And again, Robobay still producing. So Maxpax knows where he wants to take this. Into the Colossus. Clem obviously has not felt comfortable being too active on the map just yet either, but maybe that'll change soon. Maybe a possibility to get something on the way in the next little bit is... see the... again, Combat Shield. Gonna be done soon. With the Medivacs popping as well, if there is a moment for Clem to start moving out on the map, this would kind of be it. So there's gonna be some action from Clem. It's coming sooner rather than later at this point. Very nearly where we want to be. There's Maxpax. Yeah, he just comes out the front with the Stalkers. Obviously, he's building up his tech behind this. The Thermal Lance, the Colossus. +1 and a charge upgrade. All of that continue to come into play right now. I'm just getting pushed over that side a few moments. Going to see that getting heating up a little bit. Ready to move out to his third base. So just as he has his upgrades, he can move out on the map if he wants to. That would naturally defend his third. We'll see if Maxpax finds a way to get around the back. Maybe hit that third. It's also possible Clem doesn't move across the map. He just moves to defend the third first. And once that third is truly secured, then maybe he starts to make a play across the map instead. So kind of definitely becomes a bit of a possibility right now. Going to be there. A couple of the Stalkers will get pushed away. The Zelds will gather. Again, this Bio Army just going to sit between the third and the natural, standing strong for the moment. Clemeland's coming through, +2 attack producing. This army still poised on the right side for a couple of seconds as well. Just going to see the Zealots going to come across. Stalkers and Colossus coming in. The fake Void Ray doesn't do much. I don't know if I love this attack from Maxpax. Obviously, right now, the theory is probably that he's just going to trade out a lot of his Zealots, a lot of his cheaper units, but feels like we're giving Clem... I mean, I guess at first I felt like Clem was maybe going to have the chance to keep pushing forward, but that's clearly not going to be the case, all said and done. Going to see the few Stalkers, Zealots, Colossus coming in again. Bio will continue to trade out. The Colossus trying to fight from afar. The tanks, I think, are well placed right now, so if the Colossus try to reach in for some shots, the tank should be able to cover and help to push those Colossus back quickly. The moment the Colossus start losing shields to tank shells, they don't want to stick around, you know? That's the moment where they want to turn the heck away as well, so no doubt they won't be, like I say, super eager to be a part of that. And you have the units gathering back in. Shots coming through. A couple of SCVs pushing back again. Just going to see the units are going to get chased away. Fire army still fighting. A couple of Zealots going down. The Stalker's taking a few hits as we speak. Vikings and the Ghosts and the Marines all still coming online. Just going to see our Stalker's going to regather in the center once again. Stalker's hit a Viking. A bit more being done. Fire will chase. A couple of Stalkers getting pushed back in. +2 attack about to be done. The armor upgrade still coming up. We do have our robo facility in the Temple Archives coming into place as well here. And +2 finishing very soon. Hey, what's up, Mad Alien? How you doing, mate? Thank you so much for the 74-month resub. Did the Raven die? Yeah, it died to the Stalkers when on that fight. On the bottom side, dropped 2 auto turrets, helping to chase the Zealots back, and it got picked off. I don't think the Observer totally missed it, because it happened literally on screen. But it happened during the course of the big engagement. And there's a couple of medevacs load up, and they do come around the top side and head towards the natural, so Clem's trying to just drop around. Main army poised on the map. This is going to be nice. He's going to be able to jump on the Colossus with the Vikings. There's not a lot of anti-air here at all. EMP comes down. He's starting to drop into that mineral line. I was going to say, I don't think that's the place to drop. I think we want to drop into the other base, although I guess that's where the Stalkers were at. Widowmine gets the Disruptor. Oh my god, Maxpax's army is getting obliterated so far. And now this drop in the natural does find the opening with the Stalkers trying to come down here. The Zealot Stalker force is going to try and chase this Bio army away, which looks as though it might actually happen. So Maxpax will have enough on the ground to chase this away. These Marines over here need to decide what they want to do. Chase after probes, go after the Nexus. Clem's obviously busy kiting back at the moment, pulling away from everything else here at the moment, right in this second. The Vikings just going to come over to the side and go after the Disruptor. That's actually a very cute use of it, and we will see the Marines on the other side of being not quite cleaned up. They're going to drop to the low ground mineral line. I don't think this drop is destined to last forever as the Stalkers recall home, but we get a few more probes at the end of this to play the final bit of cleanup. Marine Marauder Medevac, 2-2 upgrades, all still building into place. The Vikings lift back up into the sky. Again, the Disruptors will continue to join back together here. And yeah, the 3-2 upgrades now coming through from Maxpax as well, so continue to bring that up and running for the moment. Biokiting back, couple of Zealots getting chased, Disruptor shot, going to shoot. Zealot's still chasing up. Again, the Archon is going to be there. The Vikings stepping through. Disruptor lands just on a Marauder or so. The other few units still just coming about here. A couple of moments. Another Disruptor shot flying up toward the ramp. Bio army will gather. Again, 3-2 upgrades coming up for a little bit. 2-2 on the way. Marine Marauder Viking all continuing to build. The Medevac still producing. Thanks. Firing it up right now. Again, the few Zealots, the Archon, the Disruptors coming about. Still got the 2-2 about to be done from Clem. Let's just have the army ready to make a bit of a play here, perhaps. Bio's going to step back. A couple of Zealots going to charge through. The Archon coming up. He's going to step all the way back. A couple of Vikings going to have to step away as well. Doing a good job of things for a moment or so. Another Disruptor shot lands onto a Marauder. And Zealots coming about as well. Just going to see these other Zealots still stepping away from this one. Again, Marines, Ghosts, the Marauder, and the Medevac still settling. Just going to see the Bio pulling back once more. Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Just going to see the Zealot on the right side picked off as well. Clem holds very nicely, but considering how much of Maxpax's army was destroyed earlier, I really felt like this was going to be more impactful. I guess realistically it is quite impactful because you look at Maxpax's army right now, it's not great. It's just very capable of not being jumped on and killed. You know, the disruptors really stop you from kind of just jumping onto it straight away. If Clem gets into reach of this army like this army can die very quickly. You're going to use a disruptor to force the army back to the right side. That's good for Clem too, though. If you're using a disruptor to the top and a disruptor to the bottom at the same time, you're going to work your way through the disruptor count much more quickly as Clem. This disruptor is going to land on a Viking, will not die just yet. A few Marauders trying to come through. The disruptor's in the front taking some damage. EMP hits the prism, doesn't go down just yet. Might be worth lifting the Vikings just to get the prism. Gets the disruptor in the back. In the end, we're just going to straight up win this with brute force. It seems from Clem. Doesn't need to get rid of the prism. Like I say, it might have been nice to do it a bit earlier. They did a bit of micro to save the disruptor for a couple extra seconds, but most things get cleaned up here. Clem splits. He's going to chase. He's going to find himself at least one of these Marauders. He gets both of them. The recall is no good. Bit of a desperation recall from Maxpax, but it ain't going anywhere, as this is going to be Clem. 196, nearly maxed out supply to the 133 of Maxpax, not looking as though he's going to be able to stay in this with 80 less army supply. His work account, amazing, but if you're just going to be spamming Zealots and Stalkers, probably not going to get very far. And like I say, it didn't feel like that big fight was maybe as impactful as it was meant to be, but I think the reality is it did reset this army down into something that was a whole lot worse than what Maxpax was originally trying to work with, essentially. Bioforce is going to come through, grab this Nexus. The free probe is going to get jumped on as well. It's going to see the Bio Army still coming across, chasing down these other probes. Zealot Stalker coming through, the Worker still getting chased. And again, the 3-3 upgrades coming about as well. Just going to see the Bio going to unload back to the side. Bio just going to stay spreading. And the Liberator is going to step up. The Viking's going to be here. This Nexus is going to go down, so the Zealot Stalker is just going to get pushed away. There's a few Stalkers going after the Medevac. Just initially, we will have the couple of Zealots now slicing and dicing their way through a few of these SCVs as well. This SCV is taking quite a bit of damage. It's going to see that Bio Army still going to be there. Disruptor shot. It's not quite going to land just yet. The Liberator is going to siege up on top of all of this. Now going to be seeing a 3-3 upgrade still coming through. The Bio Army continue to fight. The Zealot's still taking a whole lot of damage as well. I mean, realistically, Maxpax can't win engagements. Not with the army that he has, not against the amount of stuff that Clem has in comparison. GG. Clem takes the 2-1 advantage, and he is going to be back in the lead of this best-of-5 final. A map away from retaking his crown as the all-time Monday champ in this Monday Cup 87. Alright guys, one round of ads, and we'll be right into this Maxpax versus Clem Game 4. Could be our last game of the day. Again, just a little reminder, if you're on Twitch, we will be having some sponsored content coming up as soon as the StarCraft 2 ends. Once the sponsored content ends, we'll actually come back and have a little peek at the Monday Cup. Although, the Spring Championship standings basically comes down to this. Basically, Strange guaranteed himself into the Spring Championship. There's 2 spaces up for grabs between Art, Jumi, Christiana, Nice, Trigger, and Yakov. So, not sure what we're going to do about that. It's ready in GLHF. Comes up. And we will get this ready to kick off. Alrighty. So yeah, there'll be 2 spots left open, I guess. The Spring Championship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there should be 2 slots left open that we'll have to figure out how to tiebreak. Last time getting the tiebreakers played was a nightmare. So I'm wondering if we just run like a super last chance qualifier or something to that effect. Maybe. Not sure. Not sure. I might just... I'm tempted to do it just off the players that played, that got the first and the last chance qualifier. Which would be Art and Jumi. Just because, like I say, they've effectively earned the most points in what was meant to be the qualifier to it. So maybe that's our tiebreaker in the end. So I don't really have a good way to solve this. I'm going to have to think about that one. But yeah, that'll be some info going out soon. Hey, what's up, Vara? Thank you so much for the 77-month resub. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Although, usually what we do as well is... well, this favors Yakov, but what we actually did previously is that players with the least represented race on the same amount of points would get priority. So that, but then with Yakov versus a bunch of Protoss players, so it doesn't really break anything. Yeah, not sure. Anyways, into the finals. Into very much so what's going on right now. As we have this probe chasing around. Marine going to be coming up on the barracks just initially. Bringing that into play. Getting that started. Getting this underway. And thank you, Vara, for the 77-month resub, and appreciate the support as we just have our Nexus coming down the command center building. Early parts of this looking kind of as we expected to. Peaceful, not much going on just yet, and seeing where we go. Our factory's about halfway done from Clem. Again, the command center halfway done too, got to figure that out. And the SCV still builds. Stalker the Warp Gate, the Nexus coming about. Probe coming up. Getting that brought into play. Just going to see the Nexus going to settle onto the low ground. Ranks lands over on the sides. Just going to see that refinery finishing here, and actually a couple of the SCVs begin to jump on into it. So start to get ourselves into position on that. Twilight Council still coming up. And yeah. I'm just going to have the barracks, the command center, the Cyclone continue to produce by for the moment. Stalker will be making its way up the top. What's up, Andy Figware 79? How you doing, mate? As always, appreciate you. Thank you so much for the Prime for the 21 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm just going to see a hallucination coming around here. Checking out the natural, checking out the main base. The Stalker is going to continue down. Cyclone locks onto this hallucination, and hallucination going to get picked away at and cleaned up already. And again, the blink and the warp gate coming through, but obviously removing the hallucination, trying to stop info being gained. Always a nice little something if you can genuinely make that happen. Gateway morphing into the warp gate just for a few moments then. Again, the racks coming through, that starport coming up. Going to see the extra racks coming down. The East Impact now building. Marauder is halfway done. Continue to bring this into play just for the moment. That starport still coming into position. That reactor coming through here. We do have the blink halfway. And again, Nexus, the gateway, continue to produce at the moment. When Clem hits Stim, it's obviously going to become a little bit of a more dangerous game for Maxpax. It'll be fun to see what Clem can find with that. As the medevac's about to pop, and he's got a good amount of Marine Marauder already building through too, so it does feel like Clem's going to have quite a lot to work with. Few Stalkers stepping through, the Marine Marauder army just going to be right there to meet those first few Stalkers. Going to handle them nicely. Stalkers get in, and SCV gets picked away at already, so it's going to make that grab. It's going to have the Marauder still taking a few more shots. As you see the bio going back the other way, a few of the Stalkers getting jumped on. Bio looking good to, again, hold that back and push this out of here. Two Stalkers still in production, just for the moment. Again, the gates and the probes build up. Stalkers just going to fly. The Bio going to take a few shots. Bio will stim, get after those Stalkers again, chase them back the other way. Bio pulling back to the sides, the other couple of Stalkers coming through. It's going to get after a couple of those Marines. We'll have the, again, combat shield, Marauders, the medevac, all building up. A couple of Widow Mines will continue to produce on through. The Stalkers in the charge will still be building. The Robo Facility is not going anywhere just yet either. So yeah, blink straight into that charge. Medevac is going to make its getaway. And like I say, really just the bio upgrades coming in quickly here from Clem. Going to give us an idea of what we can do in the next few moments. See how aggressive he can be. See what he wants to set up for overall. Temple Archives Forge, all building. And grab the hallucination there. It's going to be a really nice catch. So it's going to be a good little takeaway. Again, the combat shield coming through. The concussive shell still coming up. Still got that attack upgrade. The engineering bay upgrade from Clem as well. That will give this really, again, all the bio upgrades you really want right now. Ooh, wouldn't mind drop. Going to be great. 2 probes and a stalker is actually really nice. And obviously keeping a few units in the main base for a few moments as Clem was otherwise moving on to the map. So maybe a chance to take advantage there, although he doesn't quite strike with it in the end. So maybe not all that crazy. All said and done is, again, the storm, the probe still just coming through. A couple more moments. Medevac, Broader, and the rest of it coming around as we just see the, again, Medevac ready to drop into the bottom left. Deny a 4th base would be amazing. Maxpax is on the map, so we're going to have to make sure that Maxpax has enough to, Clem has enough to hold on against Maxpax's main push at the same time. This army so far, kiting back, doing a good job. Has a bunch of Widow Mines over there as well, so really is able to just be very safe, I think, with the Widow Mines that he can fall back to. I think he's going to be absolutely fine. And Maxpax in a bit of trouble. That 4th base going down, so no 4th from in this game. He's going to try and build it into the forward position now instead. It's obviously not his first choice, otherwise he would have built that sooner if that actually was going to be his first choice, right? So yeah, that's going to leave you in a bit of an awkward spot. And Storm and the +1 all coming through. And Storm's obviously going to make this game a lot nicer for Maxpax. Doesn't look as though Clem's going to make anything bigger happen just yet. It's the drop into the back of the natural. On that high ground, gets unloaded, gets a few probes, and just gets out of there again. So just being extremely annoying. It's kind of wild how for so long it felt as though Terrans just couldn't drop in this matchup. Protoss players were on the map. It was so difficult to justify. It's like, well, if you just send one medevac, like, it doesn't do enough. I really feel like Percival is just like, what if we do just send one medevac? Like, what if we do just send a medevac on the map? Like, is it actually not good enough? You know, like, I feel like Percival took this and asked the question and actually found a very positive response, because Percival's the guy who, for me at least, has been kind of leading the way in a lot of these scenarios, with the single medevac doing so much. Clem having to deal with the army in the middle of the map at the same time here, so this is a little tense, as the Zealots in the main are great, but we are going to see army in the middle of the map and come through for a little bit of damage as well. So going back over there just for a moment. SCV's going to be here helping it to clean up, so Clem having to clean that up. Work count still fine, 62 to 70. It's very playable for Clem. Maxpax's economy is fine as well, but not as good as he would like it to be. I'm sure he would have liked this to be a bit more of a lead already. Just going to see the couple of Zealots still around. That prison being super annoying in the main. That's Clem, like I say, not able to focus on everything else at the same time. Wouldn't mind that got left behind. Actually got a shot off and killed a couple of units perhaps just in the center there as well. So a little bit more being done. We're going to see this bio army stemming up. A couple of those Zealots getting turned away. Got to be careful of the storms. Clem looks as though he's going to split to try and just eat a storm or two so that he could close the distance and get some work done. Doesn't happen in the end though. As now Marine Viking Ghost continues to come up. Again, Thermal lands on the way through the Colossus building. More probes coming by. Big bio army into the bottom left-hand corner. Just going to see the Zealot and the probe there going to get jumped on. At least Maxpax did get the forward base up. That 4th took a long time to come into this game, but he is able to get it there now, and obviously mining from that consistently shows how important that's been. This army of Clem, it's cornered, but then he's got reinforcements on the way over, and he has a scan to see what's kind of where with this as well. Now there's going to be a storm available onto this main army from the top. Clem drops some EMPs. He starts to move through, then he decides he's just going to lift and try and get out of there. One more EMP comes down. Ooh, Colossus on the left side shows up, but Clem's not really in position to take advantage of it. The Colossus stopped moving. No, oh, it's because he's recalling it. Okay, so it's already gone. So Clem can't take advantage. I thought maybe he might still get a catch on that at the end, which would have been actually pretty ridiculous to still find a catch at the end of all of this. Wouldn't mind burrowing the few Marines and the Ghost gathering up. Colossus and the Thermal lens continue to come into place. 2-2 upgrades, Ghost on the way. Having ourselves the Robo, the Nexus, and the Thermal Lance continuing through, plus 2 attack upgrade coming about also. Just going to see those medevacs going to work their way down the left-hand side here. Continue to move across for now. Stalkers. It's going to be caught. Zealots are kind of stuck in the back portion of this army. We do not have many Vikings, so the Colossus may stick around in this. Do we have any EMPs for the Archons? Well, we did in the end, as we do at the same time cancel the bottom left base, so Clem not going to let Maxpax to a 5th. Clem obviously still needs to kind of find his own 4th base as well, though. So denying the 5th is nice, but he's got economy to find himself. Those Widow Mines are going to be massive. Massive splash on the Zealots, and also just hits an Archon to death as well with that splash. So Clem sees what he's about to fight into here. He's going to be able to target the High Tempo, so that goes down. No storming. And the few Zealots are not going to be enough. The Menefac's about to be out of energy. We're going to live. We're going to run. Stalkers will blink for maybe 2. Just gets the 1, although the other one alone, the Stalker's warping in already, probably means that we can't go any further. Clem, like I say, needs to establish his own 4th base. If he gets to 4 bases apiece here, the way that he's been trading well, effectively. 1,000 resources kind of better off so far in the trades. It's good trades, and so if you equalize the base count, I like this lot for Clem. He's been doing a great job of just dropping and denying the bottom side. Another drop now into the main base. Maxpax not ready to deal with this direction of attack. Maxpax is going to launch a larger attack towards Clem's new 4th. Now, Clem is set up in front of that, so he's in the right place, as he's actually dealing with these Stalkers very well. That gives him the chance to lift up and leave with those medevacs kind of freely. The Colossus trail behind everything else here. No, not really that many Stalkers here, so if there was a couple more Vikings, Clem would probably have an okay time on this. Continues to fight, is going to lose out on the medevacs. More Stalker warpings, got the job done on that at least. As you're going to see, these last few units will go down. Clem now sensor towered up across his bases, which means that Maxpax is not going to be able to make a sudden appearance anywhere. +2 and +1. Well on the way from Maxpax, but Clem is about to finish 2-2, so you'll have an armor upgrade lead in a pretty serious way. So, big armor upgrade lead for Clem. Loads up the double medevac. Actually going to find the Zealot top right. That's going to spot those medevacs. I imagine Clem will unload and not try and do too much unless he's really not paying attention. Looks like he wasn't. Okay, now he does. The medevacs top right have turned back into that Zealot. They unload it, they kill it. Obviously, Maxpax will have seen these medevacs too, so he could have responded. So it's not really in Clem's best interest to keep flying them around the map. Maxpax has gotten the bottom left base up. I thought Clem might be a bit more aggressive to kind of push in there again. No Observer in this army. Widow Mine's again going to strike pretty quickly. A lot of Widow Mines doing work here, even hitting Stalkers and so on. Storm's finally showing up. The High Templa's right in the back. Okay, sure, very safe from the EMPs and so on, but not exactly ideal. Clem having to try and deal with this army right now. Another Storm coming down. It's not ideal just because of how far away they were. They took a long time to actually show up. As you are going to be seeing the Colossus trying to push forward onto that refinery. There's an attack across the map. Clem's killed 16 workers on the 4th base of Maxpax. That is going on during this. This Nexus is actually probably just going to die as well. So yeah, it looks as though that Nexus will in fact go down. Meanwhile, Maxpax is making a very good push here, but Clem now knows that the damage he's doing across the map, if he just deals with this army, this might just be A-okay, but dealing with this army is very difficult. The 4 Colossus number is very hard to work through, and we've still got Storms to support, so this army's going to be taking a lot of damage on the way into any of these fights. Maxpax pushing his way towards the production line. Clem's starting to lose SCVs as well. Clem took that medevac. One medevac got out alive, it seems, and got over here to find a pylon, and I guess he could chase down a few probes. Maxpax, how is he going to approach this? He is just going to run into the main base. A few Marines in the corner. Clem is going to try and find the EMPs. Does he have it? He hits one of the High Temple. The other High Temple gets away for now. Do we have another EMP? Vikings? Oh, he does. He hits the Colossus. The Vikings starting to do what they can. There's not a lot of Vikings. A few more building. Clem going to try and unload a bit on the high ground as well to essentially get a spread on this army, but it's just not good enough. Maxpax's force has been unkillable, and I just don't think he can fight through this. The Colossus have done so much damage. The production is burning, and Clem is not going to be able to take this game down despite what felt like complete and total control. I mean, okay, it's not done yet. But the way this game is set up, it felt like Clem was controlling the game. Maxpax was so late to his bases. The only thing Clem didn't have was a proper answer to these Colossus. I guess in the end he was kind of running out of ghosts. Clem taps out of here as Maxpax just gets it done with that one big push apparently. And that is going to be GG's. Maxpax ties this up. Alright, this is the kind of game where I understand the frustration of the Terrans. Like, because to me this is a game where Clem controls the map, he drops everywhere, he is able to just he wins the game at every moment until he just can't kill that final army. And he just doesn't have that. And to be... I say that final army, it may not have been the final army of Maxpax, it's the final army of the way the game played out. But I guess Clem just missing the few tech units that are necessary. He knew there was Colossus, so I guess he could have gone into Vikings a whole lot sooner. Was the 4th too late for Clem? No, I don't think so, because the 4th was late, but the 4th was also in a situation where... it's like Maxpax was very late to his own 4th as well, right? So like relative to Maxpax, I think the 4th base was timed fine, you know? I think the 4th base was absolutely okay, honestly, so yeah. No, I get it. Like I say, no GG from Clem. I'm not gonna excuse that necessarily, but like I do think this is the sort of game that you find frustrating as a Terran player, because it feels like you did everything right. It felt like you dropped him to death. It felt like you did so much delaying, so much slowing down, and yet he still shows up, maxed out, loads of storms, loads of Colossus. And it's not like Clem was perfect either. He also had moments where the Prism got back into the main a few times over, killed the SCVs, kept him a bit slowed down as well. So like I say, it wasn't perfect, but I still look at that and I still think there was... Like in those moments, it didn't feel like that was all that deadly from Maxpax. But again, it's that chip damage that kind of adds up over time as well. So... GG's. Storms look very hard to deal with. I mean, it lasts so long, he's forced to wait forever. Yeah, I mean, if you let the Protoss in position and they have storms, you're not able to jump on the Protoss army like that. Like, you can't let the Protoss get in that position in the first place. The thing is I don't think this is one of those moments where it's just a composition issue. Like, Clem did not have enough Ghosts with EMPs, and he did not have enough Vikings to scare the Colossus off. So if you don't have that and you get pushed away, like, you need your army to be the correct composition. And that's a perfect example of why, because the moment that that army is not the correct composition, it becomes a big problem very quickly, you know? Reaper, orbital, engineering build on the way through. Just gonna have the rest of this coming about. That's the engineering bay block initially. Maxpax will take the 3rd location once again. Get into this game 5 of this WardiTV Mondays 87. Clem and Maxpax, as always, going back and forth with one another. Reaper is halfway done. Second Reaper, that is. So Clem actually going to be with a little bit more early pressure than he has had in the previous games. He also had part of the lead because he threw away medevacs and had to rebuild them. That's true. Like, he made sure to keep the medevac count up while dropping heavily. I still think he could... at the stage of the game we're at, I still think he could have had additional Vikings, though, realistically. Like, yeah, the starports to rebuild medevacs, but I think we're deep enough that... Well, maybe not. Like, I mean, his ghost count, honestly, was not great at that point either, right? So, the ghosts also weren't looking super great as Clem will kill us to death. It's absolutely no problem. Not even close, realistically. That depth was a long way off getting another shot on that Reaper. Blink building, warp gate still coming up. Let's get that into position here. So you have the Widow Mine in production, that starport coming through, and a few probes will be mining out on that right side. And getting that blink online. The gateway continue to come into place here. Gonna see the Reapers and the Hellion. 3 Reapers, 2 Hellions down on the bottom right side, ready to push through. Just gonna see that probe being caught. Gonna find a second probe, transferring between bases. This is where you're gonna see these early units actually doing a lot of work, and this Stalker's in trouble. There is a battery that's gonna save it. There's not enough damage to kill it, so now Clem's wasted time. Unless we still go for the kill, because we can just say, okay, that battery's out of energy, an extra Stalker shows up, so we're not gonna kill anything in the end. Well, Clem decided to go for the Stalker, and obviously he could have just gone for the mineral line, right? He could have ran past the Stalker, lost a Reaper, and hit that mineral line hard and killed a bunch of workers. Deciding to go for the Stalker is really it's a very costly moment, as the grenade on that Stalker is going to bounce it forward and keeps it in reach of the Reaper to get the kill as well. But yeah, that's really painful because, like I say, for Clem, that's basically just a bunch of wasted damage output. Like, those units did nothing, essentially, because Maxpax already built the battery, and he drained the battery, but he's not got any way to really follow up on that anyway. Clem's going to do some micro here with the Widow Mine to try and ensure that as much mining time as possible is lost. He unburrows it then, reburrows it to take some time where he doesn't have to retarget. Maxpax being very, very lazy about pulling those probes away. Eventually we'll let that happen as this medevac gets the unload. We get the burrow, and it does not go off in time. It is just going to go down. This Widow Mine gets cleaned up as well, as Clem doesn't find damage from the mine drop. His tank out, what he did gain from this is he has kept Maxpax back at home. By Maxpax having to keep his Stalkers back at home to defend, it means that Clem is essentially, and he also used a recall to get back here with those Stalkers too. That's where they came from after they were moving out onto the map. But yeah, this basically allows Clem to say, well, at least you're not attacking me right now. And that gives me more time to set up my anti-Stalker defense. Second bunker here, for example. Maxpax is up to 3 gateways, and he is now going to add on a 3rd Nexus, which is actually kind of late for only being a 3-gate kind of game. So that part's actually pretty okay for Maxpax, for Clem, you could argue as well. Let's see, one Hellion gets in, gets another probe just between the bases right there. These Stalkers will settle for some damage as well, just trying to get a couple shots off. Stalkers, Prism coming back through, just going to have ourselves the tank, the Marines, and the Stim coming up as well. Going to blink across here. We've got the bunker. Plenty of Marines can hop out of there. We'll lose a couple of Marines, but this is going to be pretty well defended for now. Not going to see too much damage coming out of this. Charge upgrade still building on our Twilight Council as well, so bringing that straight through. Temple Archives over halfway done. The Assimilator building over on that side also. Again, a couple of the tanks just spreading out, settling themselves down for a few moments. Reactors will build. Prism back to the right side. Tanks well set up. Nice catch on the Observer. Remove some of that vision from Maxpax. Make it much more difficult for him to just basically kind of see what he's attacking into and to see what he's kind of playing around here. So working with that quite nicely. Again, the Storm and Charge both working their way forward as well. So you bring a lot of that up into play. Just for the moment, bring that into position. Yes, yeah, Storm and Charge again continue to come around. Just going to be seeing the rest of this coming about a little bit too. Just going to see the Zealot on its way, the Observer coming around. A few Stalkers will keep moving about just for a moment or so. Again, that Forge coming about. Take a few moments. Charge will come through. The Probe is going to be building. The Prism on the top side going to be chilling for a little bit as well. Just going to see the Bio unloading onto the map. We're going to try and wrap around some of these Stalkers, maybe trying to get a catch and punish them for having map control. Prism gets found by the Vikings, going to have to recall home. Unfortunately, off cooldown after bringing those Stalkers back. That was a while ago, of course, at this stage, so not too surprising. That's another Observer. Clem is the Observer killer right now, channeling his inner Björn. I've been praising Björn about being the Observer killer for a while now. As he's just going to push out, get that 3rd base in position. And his army right now looking very solid. Of course, Maxpax's possessed situation, Temple Archives is up, Storm is done. And so anything that happens here is going to be having to be Clem playing around the Storm. Maxpax moving a lot away from the Robos and much more toward the Storm in these last couple of games, feeling a lot more comfortable with it perhaps as we get deeper in this series, feeling as though it's just having more success. Do you feel like, generally speaking, that the more time you see Storm, the more success there is for Protoss, and it is more difficult to get into Storm sometimes. It can be a lot scarier to kind of build into Storm. You can be very, insecure and kind of in, rough positions early because of it. So you can understand the need to be a little cautious overall and so, but as we're going to see, these Marines are going to stim up. We're going to get there. That Prism will take a bit of damage. You're going to see that Bio and the Widow Mines gathering back in as well. So it's going to be here, Stalkers 2, get rid of a bunker. You're going to see Clem coming in from the other side. This is the issue, though. You're going to have to go through Storms to deal with this. He now splits a little late, really, as he's already eaten so much damage. This is a horrible fight for Clem, as his mineral line is obviously in trouble, too. He's got all of his tanks out of position. He did not see this army coming into place, and Maxpax is going to say no to Clem getting his crown back in the Mondays. Maxpax is, for the first time ever, going to have the most Monday victories of anybody if he can clean this game up and get it through to a victory. They're not done yet, but the Zealots charging into the third base suggests it's not going to go well for Clem here as these Storms continue to drop. And you cannot lose track of this Protoss army because Storms will just not let you get back in position. You can't be out of position when Storm is in play, because if you have to fight through Storm, it's never going to go well for you. You can't just sit there and let the Storms dissipate anymore, because Storm sits there for so long. So you got to know where this Protoss army is at. You can't be out positioned by it. And that means that Maxpax finds the dagger in the side of Clem, and now is going to have himself the chance to clean this up. Zealots and Stalkers pushing through. The High Templars are here. Clem is going to tap as Maxpax gives the 3-2 victory, and he will win the most Monday Cups of all time, as he has taken himself to 24 victories on a back-to-back-to-back streak as well. It's going to be 3 wins in a row in consecutive Mondays. GG's. You get out of position because of Storm. I mean, he wasn't out of position because of Storm here. Let's be real. If you sit on the left side and Maxpax is on the left, he cannot push, because he can't storm you out of your ramp and then push up the same ramp, you know? You can't do that, you know? That's not how it works. So, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes you do get pushed, but in this scenario, it was not. So, GG's. All because you attacked the Stalker in the beginning, so I go into probes. Yeah. Guys, we are going to be doing some sponsored content. If you stick around for 5 minutes, you will literally help the stream out simply by watching. Super easy. All you got to do is stick around. So yeah, literally stick around for like 5 minutes, and we will count as a view towards the sponsorship. If you're on YouTube, we're going to be turning YouTube off in a minute. But if you want to support, just hop on Twitch. 2-3 minutes on Twitch. Like I say, 5 minutes to be safe. Will count towards the sponsorship, and it helps massively. We're going to be playing Neverness to Everness, which is something we played kind of recently. We actually did a sponsorship for this earlier this month. Was it in May? Maybe it was just at the end of April. Yeah, it was just at the end of April, maybe, that we did this. Let me actually check. I'm kind of intrigued. It was not long ago that we did this. I can't see. All right. But yeah, it wasn't long ago that we actually did a sponsorship for this already, but we got another one pop up on the Twitch sponsor setup. So we're going to be diving into Neverness to Everness here, which I actually had a lot of fun with last time. It was a lot of fun. So, of course, guys, this is sponsored content for the next little while. I'm going to turn you guys off on YouTube, so bye, YouTube. Everyone say bye to YouTube. Bye, YouTube. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later while I load this up and get this ready to go. So we'll turn YouTube off. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Final words, final words, final words. But yes, if you're here on Twitch with us, thank you for joining. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit more about the Spring Championship standings at the end of the sponsor content, but I just want to dive right into this. So,